Welcome back to the final K. We have got the 7th stage and the final stage of the Volta Catalunya here. I'm all over the show, so I'm a lot bit late. So I didn't realise it was finishing this early, so I had to rush a bit this morning, but I am here, thankfully. We've got 29.5 kilometres to go. There is 1 kilometre to the top of the climb. This is the 4th one from the finish. So, Remco Evenepoel attacked at the front, Vingegaard went with them, but I think they have all been brought back there. So they have? Yeah, they have. They've all been brought back there, so we have got a bigger group going into this finale here. Well, this final 30k. Trying to think who else could possibly. Right. So I think I'm a bit back to normal now. I haven't obviously updated the bit along the top, but I'm on about the subscriber count. Sorry, we've hit over 200 subscribers, so thank you a lot for that. That is brilliant. But back to this race, we've got 300 meters to the top of this Category 2 climb. Red Bull and Ineos are at the front of the peloton. Jonas is sat in 4th wheel. Remco, I think, is on his wheel in 5th. Felix Gall's there. Oscar Onley is now at the front of the peloton, which is unusual to see. But Lenny Martinez is there. I see Felix Gall as well. I'm going to assume that other rider is Riccatello. Schelmoes is there as well. Joao Almeida, I think he got caught out the back, so I don't know whereabouts he is, but the road is really narrow. There's not one. Well, and Remco Evenepoel attacks out the front. Here we go. Another attack from Remco. 100 meters from the top. Jonas Vingegaard straight onto his wheel. Gall in 3rd. But Remco goes for an attack. Is there a gap going to form here from this peloton to Remco? It looks like the gaps are starting to form here. Who's went with him? Lenny Martinez, Schelmoze. There's not a significant gap. Yeah, he turns around, realises he hasn't got much of a gap and sits back up. But Remco looks like he is on fire for this, for the win for this one. He looks like he really wants it. Is that Jay Hindley or Lipowitz moves back to the front? The KOM jersey's still up for grabs as well. Ciccone on 68 points and Solera's on 61. So, and I think they're both in this this front group as well. So every time they get to the climb, expect to see one of them attack as well. Schelmoze now attacks on the left-hand side of the road. Hello, Bobby. We all good? Schelmoze is now attacked at the front of Remco. I think it's Remco trying to follow. Or someone is trying to follow from Red Bull, but there's not a big gap, but it's getting closed down here pretty quickly. $60 kilometers an hour they're doing here on this descent down to the down towards the finish line. What's good, Hound? All good? Long time no see. So they're at the bottom of the descent here. Schelmoze is out the front, but he's been caught now by Jay Hindley of Red Bull. But that the front group they're pretty much all single file. They're all stretched out at the moment. So far we've seen 2 attacks from Red Bull. One was successful, then he got brought back. I was working 11 hours, so I wasn't able to watch anything. So, well, you're able to watch stage 7. So, and it is a good one. At least it wasn't a flat stage. So, at least you get to see some excitement here, and obviously Gent Wevelgem as well later on. That is if you aren't working later on, like. But Remco now moves back to the front of this group. Skelmos is caught. Vingegaard is on the wheel of Remco, so Jai Hindley moves back to the front for Red Bull. Mark Soler now attacking for UAE on the left hand side. Not reading that message, man. Don't want to talk about it. So Mark Soler attacks right the front, and he has gapped. No react with Ciccone. Then moves to the left hand side, looks on the radio, but he doesn't look. I don't think Ciccone's went with him. Ciccone was talking on the radio there to see what the crack was, but no one has reacted. There's a massive smoke. There's a massive cloud of smoke in the distance. There's a massive fire. Soler doing Soler things. He's looking for that KOM jersey. There's only 7 points between them, so it is one of the good battles to look at today. You doing any better today, or are you getting cooked even worse? My Volta Catalunya is cooked as well. Like it was going really well, but now it's cooked. So I've give up on the pair of them. I'm looking towards the Gent Wevelgem Fantacycling now. So that is what I'm focused on. Oh yeah, forgot. Right, okay. So there is 3 Category 2 climbs left, 5 points available for each one. And there is 7 points splitting Ciccone and Soler for the KOM jersey here. So it is looking, well, I'd say the last one will be, I'd say there's about 10 available. I don't think that either of them will be near the front for the last one. I think they'll be attacks by then, and they'll probably be out the back. But you picked Valentine by, yeah, I've got Vingegaard. Who else did I pick? I picked Cock, he's out. I would have picked him for today, but he dropped. So I've got Martinez, Utebrooks, and there was another one, and Mikel Landa. So I'm cooked. I took a risk with Mikel Landa and it didn't pay off. So Visma now at the front of the peloton. Vingegaard's got a teammate in front of him. Pardon me. He didn't just fell. He pretty much fell off the side of a mountain. He said he was lucky to be alive after it, and he's torn ligaments, and I think he's broken a bone as well in his shin. So I think he is actually his knee. He put up a photo of his knee, and it's like a balloon. It's that swole. So he got off lightly. The fact that he said he lost a life. So why's my voice going? He said he lost a life, and he's lucky to be alive. So I think he's gonna take it easy from now on, and I think he will. I think it's a road to recovery for him now. So here we go. We're coming up to. I seen another thing where he was sitting. He had a photo of his knee, and he was talking. There was talks of him having a tear in his ligament. I don't know if the broken bone or anything is true. I need to see that. I heard someone talk about it, but I need to have a look at that. But there was definitely something with the ligament in his knee. Something went with it. Why is my voice going? Hold up, what? Yeah, there is splits in Gent Wevelgem. There is indeed. I don't even think live coverage. My voice this is going to do my head in. I don't even think live coverage is available yet for it. And I've only one screen at the moment, so I'm waiting for the second screen to arrive. But 40 seconds from the front, like not talking the breakaway, 40 seconds from the front of the peloton to the second big peloton group, and then the third part of the peloton's 30 seconds down on the second one. Why is my voice doing this now? So here we go, 1.9 kilometers to the top of this category 2 climb again. They're showing the back of the peloton, but we should see. Well, I think in the UK, I think it starts in about 15-20 minutes for me, but I think you're cooked. I went with a few of the big names, and then I went with sprinters as well. So Ben O'Connor at the very back of the peloton here looks like he may drop, but he's at the very back of the peloton. I don't know if he will drop. But yeah, I think I went with too many sprinters in my Gent Wevelgem team. So Visma still at the front. They have 2 teammates now. So Vingegaard is in third wheel. Only has 4 teammates. Dorian Goudon is one of them. He's at the back. He's behind Only. So there's 4 Ineos riders. Goudon could be a good shout for this, I picked him as my captain in fantasy, obviously, because he's the only one that I had that could possibly get a result. 29% voting for Vingegaard. I'm actually surprised at that. 57 for Remco, 14 for Lenny, and 0 for other. So Ineos now at the front here, doing a bit of pacing. With 21.5k to go. I will change this to 20k. Pardon me. I got Van der Poel, Van Aert, Magne, Lund Anderson, Brennan, Abrahamson, both for Meersches and Trenton. That's not a bad. How do you afford all that? I went with. Well, if you see my TikTok, you know what I went with. Why is my monitor shaking? Try and bring these together. I think that's a bit better. But yeah, you have 3 mil left. Huh. So they're all accelerating here. Bobby, for once I didn't vote for Visma. You did. This is such a it is. It's a perfect one for Remco as an acceleration out the front from an Uno X rider, Burgos rider from a rider from Burgos follows, and Movistar as well goes with. I think they said Charmig there on the commentary. So Anton Charmig potentially. But there is one rider from Uno X, one from Burgos, who is now accelerating this group of 3. And then there's a rider from Movistar as well. 300 meters from the top. Juan Pedro Lopez apparently from Movistar. So, but the Burgos rider here has done there's a bit of a gap between the Burgos rider and Charmig and Juan Pedro Lopez. I think that's his name. Oh, Milan. I forgot he was like 3rd most expensive. But this is a big push from the rider from Burgos. I would like to know his name. But there is accelerations now from the front of the peloton. Remco Evenepoel seems to be. It says there, I just got an update in PCS that Remco Evenepoel's at the back of the peloton. I thought I seen him at the front there. Yeah, I'm waiting for the. So Vingegaard looks over his shoulder. I think he's realised that Evenepoel isn't there. So I see Lipowitz, Gal, and Lenny Martinez only as well. So those are the 5 big GC names. Obviously, Only's not that. I don't think Only's doing that well in the GC, but he is a GC rider. That was Jairo Lipo. So I wonder what's happened with Remco here. We've 19.8k to go. We've just finished that category 2 climb for the 5th time today. We're doing it 2 more times Only versus Lippo. Here we go. It does Lippo look, or not Lippo. Only looks like he is. He's up for it today, which is good to see. Yeah, he was doing very well. Now he did get dropped in the massive mountain stage, the La Molina. But I heard someone say that I noticed at the end of it that he had a big sprint left in him to get sixth. But then I seen someone say something that it actually did make a bit of sense. Someone said that he wasn't riding too hard because he didn't want to bring other competitors back for the Lipowitz second place battle. So don't know if that's true. Don't know if he still had it in him. But what happened to Gal yesterday? Remco ripped it up on the descent from the second to last climb, and the group that was with him, he just tore it all to bits. Gal missed out, Skelmoza missed out, Riccatello, Utebrooks, they all got dropped on the descent. So they did. Unless there was actually something wrong with him, but that is what I noticed that happened. Yeah, he ended up like 2.5 minutes down. So where is Remco? That is the question. At the moment, Lipowitz now at the front of the main group. Gal can't. Well, I think that proves it yesterday. Feed zone at the moment. Here we go. Another attack from Charmig from Uno X on the right hand side of the road. No one goes with him. But what is the? Is he anywhere? No, he's nowhere. He's nowhere in GC. So I'm trying to. He obviously going for the stage win, but I just thought there was another reason. I know. I had Riccatello to begin with as well. That's the thing. I had Riccatello. And Riccatello is sat in. He's sat in 9th, and I did have him. So that's my picks for you. So you stuck with your first team then? I should have stuck with my first team. $17.3k to go. Here we Charmig now has a. Or sorry, it's not him. It's Tobias Zavar from Uno X. I thought it was Charmig because he did it on the last climb, but it's Tobias Zavar. He has got 5 seconds on the peloton, out the front on his own, and no one went with him. So if he can open a gap here and keep it, we'll see how that goes. I think so. I would like to think so. I think he might. Pirate Panther is in the group. I haven't seen him. I've seen, like I've said, Lenny Martinez, Gal, Lipowitz. I've seen all them, but I don't think I have seen Pirate Panther. So I'm not 100% sure on that. Gap is now 8 seconds to Svar. With Decathlon doing a lot of work, or I said a lot of work. Decathlon doing the work at the front of the peloton now. Oh, great! So you're working it all out. Brilliant. He is there. So, update from Bobby. He is there. I would like to think he was there, but I was just I didn't see him, and they didn't announce him dropping or anything. So Tobias Zavar is about to cross the line here, as he does so. So he has got 2 more laps to go. The peloton is 10 seconds down the road, and then they will have 2 laps to go. A rider from Caja Real has now attacked at the front of the peloton, trying to catch Zavar. So you can catch me. Don't need to remind me. So Red Bull have seemed. I didn't. I forgot Remco wasn't there. I should have looked out for him. I think he is still there. Nothing's been announced that he's dropped. It was just said he was at the back of the peloton. My ball knowledge getting better. Trust. So the poll is 54% for Remco, 8% for Lenny Martinez, and 38% for Vingegaard, 0% for others. So the everyone watching thinks that the winner is going to be either Remco, Lenny, or Martinez. My predictions are getting better. Like the one with Abraham. Yeah, that was a good shout. Abraham's in top 5, and he went to win the break. Did he get 5th in the end? I think he did get 5th. This is the performance I expected for Nordhagen. Especially yesterday when he nicked the climb, or nuked. He's definitely a talent to watch at, especially for Visma. So Mark Soler, Ciccone, and O'Connor now out the front. I completely missed that attack now, but they've passed that Cahureal rider, and the three of them are going to be going for, Soler and Ciccone are going to be going for this Category 2 climb, but O'Connor looking for the win. He was 5th, didn't have a sprint in him. Also at Forum Vermeer, so there's that. Yeah. So 10 seconds from Ciccone, Soler, and Ben O'Connor to Tobias Savard. There's 14.4 kilometers left for the race, and Savard is 1.7 kilometers from the top of the second to last Category 2 climb. Mark Soler moves out the front, flicks the elbow, and Ciccone comes through. The sprint for these 5 points is going to be pretty good. Yesterday reminded me of one Vuelta. Jonas dominated for... It's like the passing of the guard. I think there will be. Do you reckon Nordhagen can be Visma's next big guy? Do you reckon that is the? Because if so, then there definitely will be a passing of the torch moment. I think if the nurture him well, I think that he could do something. He got 4th in the youth classification there at the UAE Tour. I actually picked him I remember I picked him. I think I did. No, sorry, that was Del Toro. I forgot he was riding it, but I said to watch out for Nordhagen in the youth. That was the plan. Am I streaming Gent Wevelgem after this as well? I am indeed. As soon as it sends, I'm swapping straight over to it. Because the live feed should be now. I keep forgetting it's on. I want to check if there's any updates in it. So the peloton is split in 2 now. So it has. The first part of the peloton is 2:55 from the breakaway. The second part is 3:45. So it is almost a minute. It's 50 seconds between both parts. So there must have been some wind there to split it into 3, and then they've brought it back to 2. But there must have been some wind there tearing it apart. There's a breakaway of 8 riders up the front. 2 riders from Team Flanders, 2 from Unibet Rose Rockets, and then a rider from each J. Colula, Picnic Post, UAE, and Cofidis. I'm not going to attempt to say their names at the moment because there is 13k left in this. Soler at the front, they're about to catch Tobias Savard as they're coming up on his left-hand side. There's 450 metres to the top of this Category 2 climb, but Mark Soler leads O'Connor and Ciccone, and it's just waiting to see who attacks first. Let me have a look at Soler now. Soler puts in a big effort here, not out of the saddle. He stays in the saddle, but he is putting in a big effort. Have any of these... I'm just trying to see if any of them have won any points today. No, none of them have won any points today, so that has actually surprised me. I thought they would have been there for some of the earlier ones, but there was a breakaway at the start of it. I was surprised that none of them were in the breakaway. But Ciccone now slots into second on the wheel of Mark Soler, and there's 250 metres to the top of this. So it is... I think if Mark Soler wins this anyway, it's not gonna matter anyway. So I think Ciccone will just sit for a second unless he wants to sprint, put on a bit of a show. But Ciccone, I think, is going to seal the KOM jersey at this year's Volta Catalunya over the top of this climb. Nordhagen is surely going to be big. Probably there was Del Toro, Sexas in the future. Ciccone getting it. But yeah, no, I have heard a lot of... I don't even think either. Oh, Ciccone now comes up on the left-hand side. Almost boxes Olney completely off the road as Olney tried to attack around the right-hand side of Ciccone. Olney on his wheel. Ciccone's going to get this. He does. He gets the 5 points. Soler doesn't even get any in the end. So Jonas Vingegaard is on second wheel behind Onley. I think that is Remco back in the group. He's the long sleeves on. So yeah, Remco is sat on Vingegaard's wheel as he moves to the front of this group now. Bit of a gap to Ciccone up the road. I have heard a lot of hype around Nordhagen, so I hope he does do well, and I hope that Visma give him a chance to prove himself at some race this year, potentially. Obviously, he's got to work for... He set to ride the Romandy and the Vuelta a España, so hopefully they give him a few races in between those, and he gets a chance to properly go for it. Remco might be selling Lipo right now. What is the gap? What is the gap in the GC? I'm asking that. It's literally on my screen. I'm going to go search for it. It's on my screen. So the gap is... What's the gap to 6th? So Remco, there's a minute from Remco to Gal. So Gal's 3:17 down. So I don't think Gal is going to get much time. But the group off the front now is Remco Evenepoel, Marc Soler, Vingegaard, Ciccone, Onley and Ben O'Connor. Those 6 riders are off the front. There is 11.3k to go. I will change this to 10. Did that change? Yeah, it did. So we've got these 6 riders over the top of the climb for the second to last time. 1 second. I got my bigger screen back, but I'm going to stay on this one. I'm going to swap back over to it for the Gent Wevelgem. Who will win? My prediction for it was Remco Evenepoel. That is who I went with. Need to turn. Remco and Ciccone, the fastest in this group if it does go to the end. I think Remco will be... He'll be dying for a win here, especially after stage 1 and the stage he crashed 500 meters from the end. So he will be dying for a win. I think Red Bull will as well, because obviously they might have expected Lipowitz to get... I don't know if they were that confident with Vingegaard in the field, but I think they might have hoped they've potentially got a win in the mountains. But Remco's came close twice, and I think he might get it on the third time here. So at this group, the front, we've got 2 riders side by side. Never mind. It's Only now. It was Remco, but Remco drops back a bit. Yeah, it is nice to see. We've seen a glimpse of him there yesterday on the second to last climb before the finish. He attacked out the front, but then he was quickly brought back by the peloton. And he didn't have the best of stints in the La Molina stage, so it is good to see him have a good run out here at Barcelona. And especially as well after crashing and abandoning the Pyrenees after getting ill. So good to see him put on a good performance here. Lipowitz with 0 wins in his career or something. I know. Which is actually surprising with the 3rd place in the Tour de France. Where do you think he'll get his first win? Where do you think he will get that? Tour de France? Or somewhere else? What's he set to ride? He set to ride the Romandy, the Tour of Slovenia, but it's not World Tour. And then the Tour de France. He may get a stage in the Romandy, but Pogacar's riding it, so I highly doubt it now. But I think definitely a Tour de France win could be on the cards. That is I think if he's in GC contention, I don't think he will get one. But I think if something happens and he ends up dropping down the GC a bit, a breakaway potentially. Or it depends how far down he is in GC as well. But Lipowitz now back into this group or is that Jay Hindley? I think it's Lipowitz. He's now back at the front of this group with Ciccone on the wheel. Only O'Connor, Vingegaard, Remco all caught by the peloton now. Maybe he does get it today. Maybe he does. If Lipowitz and Remco are both over the top with each other and they're the only two, who do you think takes a win? Who gives a win to the other? So 8 kilometers to go. They're hitting the finish line for the last time. The bell is now ringing. They are on the final lap. And we've got a massive group here going into this last climb. So I'd give it to Lipo. Remco has enough. But do you reckon Remco would give it to Lipo? That's the question. Right, so who have we got in this group? The second favourite for today, according to PCS, is Dorian Goudon. I think he's still in this group. So I do. Commentator just said Goudon's a big man, so I think he is still there. There's an attack out the front here from Groupama FDJ. Bobby, I think he would. Nah, he would sprint. Conflicted opinions. But someone from Groupama accelerated at the front there, but Ineos closed it down very quickly. Ineos have two riders in orange, and then there's Goudon as well, slightly back. So one of those riders is Only as well. But they're doing the work at the front. I don't think Goudon can be there for if there's an attack on the climb. I think if they're brought back in the descent, I think he could possibly get a result out of it. But I haven't seen him accelerate at the front on the climb. There's Fortunato from Astana at the back of that group, so he's still there. 6.9k to go. You want to see Riccatello win? I don't think he'd win this stage, but good afternoon, Johnny. Good afternoon. I don't think Riccatello could do something here. If he does, that would be very good. But I don't think with the other riders in this field, I don't think we would see much from him on a stage like this. But Ineos at the front, Oscar Only in second wheel. So Oscar Only in second wheel. How big? What? Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about Mads Peloton. Oh my God, Mads Pedersen. I thought that's who you were talking about. It's actually fairly big. It's a lot bigger than I expected it to be with 6.5k to go. How many riders? I would say between. I'd say about 40 plus maybe. I think they haven't shown a widescreen of it. They're showing the back and the front at different times, but I think 40 potentially in and around that. I mean, he has won on a punchy stage this year against some quality riders. I know he won the Tour de Provence against Carlos Rodriguez, but I don't know if you call that a punchy stage. So Goudon now moves into third wheel. Ineos are the front two riders with Oscar Only in second wheel. 1.1 kilometers to the top of the last climb for the day. If you are just joining, Giulio Ciccone sealed the KOM jersey on the climb before winning it. So he seals the KOM jersey. There was 7 points between him and Marc Soler at the start of the day. And he has sealed the KOM jersey for himself, which is good to see someone else win it for a change. We obviously had Baptiste Weisdorfer winning at the majority, or the first part of the week, and then Ciccone attacked and got into the breakaway and got a lot of points during the middle of the week, and he seals it at the end of the week. And he's actually still here as well towards the front of the peloton. So I think there's about 600 metres left this climb. Let me just check the poll. So we've got 44% for Remco, 37% for Vingegaard, 7% for Lenny, and 11% for other. So Remco is the out-and-out favourite. I'm actually surprised Vingegaard is second favourite for this. So an acceleration out the front from a rider from Alpecin. Busato, maybe. I don't know who it could be. That's the only rider that just sprung to the name that sprung to my mind there quickly. There's 380 metres to the top. But the peloton, there's no one really pulling. They're all spread across the front in a line, looking for position in here before they get to the much narrower part of the day. Florian Lipowitz now at the back of the peloton, completely out of position, and looks, I don't know if he's struggling, but he's at the very, very back in an awful position. I think he's moving up now. Is he moving up? I think he has moved up a bit towards the front now, so he seems to be in a much better position, but with that effort, will he be there for the attack if there is one? Because I think if this goes to the sprint, I think Remco is definitely going to have to attack here. Because if it goes to a sprint, I think Gudon has got it. If he does have something left in the tank. But I think if Remco's looking at stage, I think now would be the time to attack. But we're now onto the much narrower section with attacks coming out the front. Is that Enric Mas? Who is that? There's someone from Movistar attacking right at the front. I don't know who. Only straight under the wheel. Lenny Martinez. It is Mas from Movistar, so Mas does the attack. Only in second. Lenny Martinez in third. Skelmuza fourth. Remco fifth. Gal sixth. I know this. If Van der Poel was here, you would. I think he would have a gap of about a minute and a half by now. He would have attacked about 3 climbs out. But no. It was a nice move from the first time we've seen Mas. The only other times we've seen him is when he was dropping, but it was good to see him put in a good acceleration. So there's no breakaway going into this final sprint. The final kilometre is actually seen when I was looking at the profiles. The final kilometre is downhill a bit. So Remco now attacks on the descent. He's got a slight gap on the other group with Mas leading them. He looks over his shoulder. And I think he was waiting for Lipowitz. Now, as Lipowitz now accelerates out of this group, is Remco going to go with him, or is Lipowitz left it too late? I shrugged. There's a bit miscue. Oh, no. So Remco attacked, looked over his shoulder. Lipowitz wasn't with him. Lipowitz then attacked, looked over his shoulder, and Remco shrugged his shoulders as if to say, you weren't with me the first time, I'm not going with you now. Oh, dear. He was looking Lipowitz to go with him, and he wasn't there. By the time Lipowitz attacked, Remco said, go screw yourself, I'm not going with you this time. So Jonas Vingegaard is now at the front of this group in the descent. Lipowitz in second, Whale Lenny in third, Skelmuza fourth, Gal, I believe. No, Paripantre in fifth, only sixth, Gal in seventh, and then there's a gap to another group. Odd little man, that Remco. I don't think he wanted Lipowitz to have a gap in GC if he ended up getting a gap, but I'm surprised at that little exchange. It was the shrug of the shoulders as well when Lipowitz looked over his shoulder. So we've got another attack from Mas on the left hand. Is it Mas? I think it's Mas. Uterbrooks is much bigger than Mas, so yeah, I think it is Mas. He now moves to the front of this group. 2.6k to go. I should actually change that. Lipowitz now pulling at the front. But the end of the first stage race for Red Bull and trouble in paradise for Lipowitz and Remco. Just trying to... Remco's now... The group has come together after the descent. Santiago Buitrago is still there. He was another name I was thinking of for the potential stage win. But Lipowitz is pulling at the front. I think it's going to be left up for Remco to do it in the sprint. Gudon is still... I've seen Gudon there towards the middle of this group. But Gudon is still there. So I think we're looking at another... if he does have enough in the tank, I think we could be looking at another Gudon win. And if he does, this guy is nuts. And Buitrago will go for the sprint as well. He's on the wheel of Lenny Martinez. Only's on the wheel of those two. But we've got a surprisingly big group here going into the final kilometre. There's 1.8k to go. I'm going to change it to 1k now, but there's 1.7k to go. I will let you know when they hit the 1 kilometre banner, but the Frenchies deliver it anyhow. That seems to be it. That seems to be the way. Alpecin are still there, so they will go for the sprint as well. I think if Bussato is still there, I think it is Bussato, because Was it Henry Ulig? He abandoned. Prediction for who finishes higher in the sprint, Jonas or Lenny? Lenny. I'm gonna go with. I think Lenny will do it again. So Remco is sat in third wheel. Here we go. We're into the final kilometre. Sorry, I was meant to remind you, but I didn't. But we're 900 metres to go. We've got three riders from Red Bull at the front of this peloton. Lipowitz at the front, Jai Hindley in second, and Remco in third. Lenny on the wheel of Remco. I think there's a rider from Q36 in fifth, but there's 620 metres to go. They're coming in at 100 kilometres an hour into this finish here. This is got 400 metres to go. They're coming in at some speed here. Remco's getting a perfect lead out. He sat in second wheel. Was Goudon there? Goudon is there, but Remco launches on the right hand side, Goudon launches on the left hand side, but Remco, Goudon, Gal, someone from NSN, I think could be Brady or Vernon. Remco's out of it, it's Goudon, NSN takes it. NSN takes it. Who was it? Ethan Vernon or Brady Gilmore? Brady Gilmore takes it, what? What a win. He came out of nowhere. Completely forgot he was even riding this. I completely forgot him and Ethan Vernon were riding this at all because of the sprint stages. So Brady Gilmore takes it for NSN. That is some sprint. He had a good Santos Tour Down Under with 2 top 5 finishes there, and he got third at the Cadell Evans Great Ocean Road Race. So he finally gets his win. But that was some sprint. He came out of nowhere. No one even... Commentators didn't even mention his name. I completely forgot about him. So that is a massive, massive win for him. Remco, I think, comes in third. Goudon gets second. What a win. So NSN controlling the first 2 days and not even getting the top 10. And then they finally get their win on stage 4 when it gets shortened with Ethan Vernon. And then I think the majority of the people thought that was it. I think a lot of people had all the bigger GC guys, including myself, for this win in stage 7, and they surprise again and get their second win at the Volta Catalunya. He was in form since the Australian Championships. I remember when I was watching the Tour Down Under, I remember him on the final stage that Brennan won. I remember him in that, and I thought he was going to get it there. So I did. But that was some sprint from himself. So yeah, he's second in the Western Australian Crit, then he got 4th at the National Championship, the National Championship Crit, and then he got 6th in the Road Race National Championship. And then he got two 4th place finishes in stage 4 and 5 at the Tour Down Under, 3rd at the Cadell Evans Great Ocean Road Race, and he has just won at the final stage of the Volta Catalunya. As you know, it was decided yesterday, but Jonas Vingegaard wins the Volta Catalunya. Big shock there. Ciccone wins the KOM jersey. I think Goudon wins the points jersey, to be honest with you. Yeah, Goudon will win the points jersey after that finish today. And then the youth jersey goes to Lenny Martinez. So that's the 4 jerseys for the Volta Catalunya. I'll rhyme through them again. GC Jonas, points jersey Goudon, KOM is Ciccone, and the youth jersey is Lenny Martinez. So 4 different riders for the 4 different jerseys. I love to see it. It's a lot better than one person winning all 3. I got 2 out of 4 jerseys right as well. So I did. That is... I went for Pidcock to get the points, but we move on from that. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere, don't worry. I need to get the screen swapped over, and I need to move over to Gent Wevelgem now, because there is a lot going on in it, according to PCS, with the group splitting, but I want to swap over here, and then I want to get the favourites up as well. I was a bit behind today because I didn't realise the Volta Catalunya was finishing so early. I thought I still had a bit of time for it. But no, it finishes really early, and we move on to Gent Wevelgem. So I'm going on to it now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm getting it up. Back there. Oh, near dropped the phone. Right, so 102 kilometers. Right, hold up, because... Hold up the stage. Top 10 was Brady Gilmore, Dorian Goudon, Remco got 3rd, Davide Gonzalez for Q36 got 4th, Antoine Lahotte from Decathlon 5th, Alpecin, Senna, I'll just call him Senna from Alpecin, he comes 6th, Luca Vergalato from Alpecin gets 7th, so 2 top 10 for Alpecin, Simone Gualde gets 8th for Lotto, Lenny Martinez in 9th, so Lenny beats Vingegaard in the sprint, and then Mullebrun, if that is how you pronounce that properly, from Astana. So that's the top 10. Whatever happened to George Jackson? I don't know. I don't know. So all right, I have no clue. Right, I'll give you an update on what is happening. So the peloton is split into 2 at the moment. The first part of the peloton is 57 seconds from the breakaway. The second part is 1:30 from the breakaway. There's a lot of names to go through, so I will try and pick out. So the first part of the peloton includes Paul Magnier, Mathieu Van der Poel, Jasper Philipsen, Mohoric, DeLee is in there, Jeno Bergmoes, Jordi Meuse, a lot of riders from Red Bull. Gianni Vermeers, Pithy, Van Dijk, both of Van Dijk is, Wout van Aert there, Christophe Laporte, Florian Vermeers, Abrahamsen, Warren Schold, Matteo Trentin, Anthony Turgis, they are all in the first part of the peloton. Laporte's name's on PCS. I don't know, I haven't heard, but it does look like Brennan's name isn't there. I forgot he was riding it. I forgot I've actually predicted him to potentially podium. So Brennan misses out. Tobias Lund Anderson isn't named on it, but I've got both of them in my team. It says for Visma it's got Wout van Aert, Affini, and Christophe Laporte. So it does. I didn't name them all because there was a lot in it, but there's 3 for Visma, 5 named for Red Bull, 3 for Lotto, 1 for NSN, 2 for Groupama, 1 for Bahrain, 2 for Alpecin, 2 for Quickstep, 2 for Uno, 1 for UAE, 2 for Astana, 1 for Tudor, and 1 for Total Energies. The breakaway consists of Dries de Bont from Jayco, Fritz Beesterbos from Picnic, Julius Johansson from UAE, Charette from Cofidis, Jules Hesters from Flanders, Victor Verculi from Flanders, De Vries from Rockets, and Wessel Maurice from Rockets as well. Right. Last time I checked, I got 7 riders there. No need to brag, Hound. There's no need to brag at times like this. In times of despair, there's no need to brag. Beasterboss, is he a favourite of yours? Right. What was I going to do there? Yes, I was going to get the favourites up and fill them in. But we've got Groupama, Lotto, Intermarché, and Red Bull there. The teams predominantly at the front. Unibet Rose Rockets, one of their riders is pulling at the front of the breakaway. I'm gonna get these favourites up for you because the site I usually get the favourites off actually had favourites this time, so give me 1 second to fill this out, and I need to change it all over. Hold up. Right, where am I? Does that change? That says preview, and I need to change that. 100 kilometers left. Right, so that's that sorted. Need to change the thing along the bottom. That's that sorted. It'll change eventually. I need to do... Oh, you're kidding. Give me 1 second till... There's only 100 kilometers left, so... Oh, sorry, hit the desk there. Apologies if there's a big bang. but hopefully something doesn't happen. Right. What was I going to change? I was going to change that. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, like. Yeah, massive difference in the colours there, like. I was actually going to change that to that. That's better. That is much better. Right, and I see Laporte. You got 4 confirmed all. Go out, go Christoph. My well, if you are joining, my prediction for this is a 1-2 from Visma with Wout van Aert winning. Beachbus is young Dutch. We don't have that many new riders in the World Tour. Okay, so keep an eye on him then. Noted. 24 years old. Remco got mogged by Goudon, who in his turn got mogged by Gilmore. Change the map. Good shout. There we go. Sorry if it is a bit blurry. Beachross story was crazy. You got a pro contract from coming second in the World Championships in gravel. Okay, bit of backstory. Thank you for that. So we got the pro contract for finishing second in the National Championships in gravel. See, I'm clutching for you because I wasn't meant to be live this early. The Volta Catalunya, because the Volta Catalunya was only 95k, so I thought they would have had it start a bit later, but no. They said let's finish a lot earlier. So let me get. I don't even have. Oh jeez. Right. Nothing. Well, Ineos now moved to the front of the chasing group. So the second half of the peloton, Sam Watson is at the front for it with two other riders from Ineos, or is it 3? There's a rider in between second and fourth wheel. I can't tell what jersey he's wearing though. But Sam Watson is doing the majority of the work here. It's a Tudor rider, so it is. Milano abandoned again. He abandoned again? Well, he abandoned there during the week because some boy ran out in front of him. But I don't know why he's abandoned here. Best start early with Mathieu van der Poel going nuts. I know that was probably the worst thing to happen for that E3 because it's I think 73 people in here, and then that stage ended, and I was like, oh, Van der Poel's attacked, and he's like a minute, and then it went from like 70 all the way down to 22. That's like, oh, you're kidding. But the gap now is 20 seconds from the first part of the peloton to the second part, so they're gonna get back together here. Was there any more names added onto that front group that I missed? No one of favourite to note to join that group. Where was I? Doing the favourites. I'm just going to change it to Gent Wevelgem because I could not be bothered typing this mic as well, doing the cable. Right. Well, I think you can guess who the favourite of the stage or the race is. I don't really think you need me to tell you who the favourite is going to be before I put it up, but that is who the favourite is if you're on the same wavelength as me. I think the top 5 might actually surprise. With the riders in the top 5, obviously Mads Pedersen isn't riding because he got sick supposedly, but he returns for the Tour of Flanders. I can see the chat moving in the corner of my eye, but I'm just trying to get these out. Oh, acceleration from the front from Laporte. So he attacks off the front of the peloton with someone from Red Bull in his wheel. It could be one of the 5 or one of the 4. So I don't think Meus would have went with him. So it's either Vermeersch, Pithy, or one of the Van Dijk brothers. But I think the second part of the peloton has joined up with the first part. Let me check. Laporte, Van Aert, and some other guy from Visma are there. Affini, yeah. It is Affini, yes, Affini. I don't know why. I have to hover over some of your messages because Chinese symbols come up when you type it, and then when I hover over it, it then translate to English. So I don't know what this is. Who will get dropped and who will get mogged on this edition of In Flanders Fields? Good question. I think we are potentially looking at a bunch sprint because Van der Poel proved he was human and could get caught. So I think that gives a confidence boost to all the other teams riding that he is able to get caught. So I think if teams have numbers there and they have their main guy there, they'll go here. Look, if those three guys can catch him, why can't we? That's if he does attack. But I mean, if there's an attack with maybe 3 or 4 riders in it, I think that could get away. But I think a bunch sprint is likely. Feeney and Laporte. I think you're right. I think Paul Mikel was the favourite for this. Let's go, Gianni. The most Spanish riders can't cobble. I know a lot of languages. Chinese ain't one of them. I don't even know if it is, but I don't know if it is Chinese, but it's some weird symbol. And it only disappears when I hover over the message. Right. I'm all about I would actually love to know where Brennan is. So, I was about to say Laporte's no longer in the first part of the peloton, but I forgot he attacked out the front. So I see Wout van Aert there in the Red Bull helmet. Laporte is back in the peloton now, but the second part of the peloton is either just in the distance or they are back on. I think they are, but yeah, they are because Sam Watson's at the front. Some of my messages are Mandarin. You want me to sim this race on PCM? You can go for it. See what happens. But I think if you do it, I think there's only going to be one winner that comes out on top in PCM. I think it is going to be Van der Poel that wins it. Right. 7-1. To be fair, first and second favourite on this list here are actually a lot closer than I actually expected them to be. Oh, you're kidding. I put that in the wrong bit. So Visma are now doing the work at the front of the peloton. There was 2 riders, now there's 1. But there's a rider from NSN, Ineos, Decathlon and Visma at the front. I think that rider from Ineos is Ghana, it looks like. Is he riding? I think he is riding this. It looked like Ghana. Yeah, Ghana is riding it. I don't know if Ghana would be doing the work, but from a distance there, it looked like Ghana. The riders that have abandoned this race is Lawrence Rex from Quickstep. So he's abandoned. Max Cantor as well from Astana has abandoned, like Hound said in the chat. Milano abandoned. And then Michel Lambrechette also abandoned from Team Flanders. He was in the breakaway on the E3, so he was. I remember his name and myself struggling to say it. So hopefully they are all good. Should I play or just... It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to sim it or not, but play it or not. Gleb's sister, is he going to win it? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to win it. Do you think he's going to win it? To be honest, I've never heard of him. Sims who don't influence results. Alright, if Visma is working, Van der Poel chances are only going up. Yeah. I hope it. I think if Van der Poel does go, I hope we see someone go with him, or a couple riders go with him and stay with him. The game predicted a sprint. Milan won, Phillips in second, and London. You know, if that happened, I'd be happy enough with that. I would be happy enough with that. Van der Poel at the front of the peloton here on the right hand side. They've got the Monteberg now. They're just hitting it. 38 seconds to the breakaway. Monteberg is 1.5 kilometers long and has an average of 5%. But it is Van der Poel at the front with Philipsen in his wheel. So, Van der Poel teammate today, possibly. The Anderson, if he wins this as well, that is It is some season he's having. I've just remembered I still don't have the favourites up. They're coming. Right. Right. Is that right? Yes, it is. So there is the site I usually get the favourites off had it up, so that is the favourites according to them. Van de Poel is the main favourite at 3-1. Wout van Aert in second, 4-1. Matthew Brennan is third favourite, 7-1. Phillips in fourth, 8-1. Jonathan Milan, the fifth favourite at 9-1, and Tobias Lund Anderson, 12-1 in sixth. You want to see Magne win? See all these facts? They're brilliant. Lamberchet is the son of a famous Belgian soccer player who has a tire factory. What a random fact. That's brilliant. I want the Lee to win because I saw him race since under 17 and he is a beast who has had he definitely has had struggles this season. He got second, like I mentioned. I think I've mentioned countless times, but he rode the Grand Prix de Danon as favourite and got a puncture. But he hasn't. He seems to be a big favourite in Belgium, so he does. See, I've seen quite a lot of people talk about him. The breakaway is now on the Camelberg, 500 meters long, averages of 11.9% and maximums of 16%. So it is. They climb it 3 times, but they climb the main side once or twice, and then they climb another side, or it's one or the other way. They climb the steepest side. They climb both sides, put it that way. But I don't know which one's which. I don't know if it's 2 times the steepest side or 2 times the normal side. But I don't think either side is normal, to be honest, with the steep sections in it. No, he is not the biggest favourite over here. Oh, he's not the biggest favourite? I thought he was. I thought he was a favourite of the Belgians. Someone most people root for. Someone told me in a stream before his nickname, because he was like a farmer or something. It's like the Bull. Something the Bull was his nickname. So they're showing the breakaway here on the Camelberg. There's actually splits happening in this part. Unibet Rose Rockets are looking the strongest on it, but a rider from Ineos now attacks out the front of the peloton. But any gaps forming? No. I see Lucas Kubish there as well. He's in the middle of the peloton. Any other? Who's that from Ineos now? Yeah, that is why Deleuze had such a hard time. Constant Belgian favourite, a lot of exposure. Alright, so people are expecting him to win, and then he's not performing the best, and then it just gives him more and more pressure. Yeah, I seen that. Wout van Aert is really out of position. And there's an issue on the Camelberg. I don't know what has happened, but there is a big standstill. The traffic is moving again. It's Turner. I just updated there on PCS. So it was Turner from the peloton that attacks out the front. Trenton, Mathieu van der Poel, good positions. Beniam Girmay's there as well. Christophe Laporte, Philipsen. Where is Wout van Aert? Vasek, I see him. Where is Van Aert? I think that was Van Aert that just passed there now. So he has a decent bit back from the front. He will need to change that positioning pretty soon. That was because he has said he misses his cows when he's away from home. So the gap from the breakaway to the peloton is 39 seconds. So it is the 88k to go. So I will actually change. I will change this because it's no longer 100. There's 90. There was Cass Ball from Decathlon was the one with the issue on the Camelberg. I think there was a mechanical issue there. Is his nickname, or in English, the Bull of La Charrette. The Bull of La Charrette. What a nickname. So Turner here is actually putting in a good shift. He's got 15 seconds on the peloton according to PCS, and he's 25 seconds down on the breakaway. Helicopter's showing a photo of a farmer here on the in the farm. Big free exposure there. Looks like my if it actually was him and that was a Photoshop, I didn't even clock it, but it looked like a genuine advertisement. But the peloton is closing the gap on Ben Turner here, so they are 30 seconds the gap from the peloton to the breakaway. So peloton is putting in a big shift now to try and bring this down. Vermeersch at the front of the peloton doing this work. He looked over his shoulder to see if anyone wants to take a turn. Someone does this time. You got ads. Oh, God love you. God love you. What was I going to do as well? I was meant to do something. That's what I was meant to do. And of course my mouse decides to yeah, that'll do. No ads for you. I'm waiting for my first ad break, so I am, because I wonder when they're going to do it. Can't wait to do the usual and watch Peter Sagan on his whoosh bike. Probably my favourite ad of all time. It's either between that or the one years ago from Alpecin caffeine shampoo. I love that ad. They just rinsed it to the end. But the Peter Sagan is definitely up there. Am I on Eurosport? No, I am on TNT Sport. That's what I'm watching it on. That's Mohoric at the front of the peloton. Christophe Laporte in second. Benim Gamaisa there. An acceleration from Astana out the front now. I think that's Alex Segert on his wheel. Closes it down. But who is that from? I wonder who that is from Astana. But that attack from the Astana rider gets closed down pretty quickly. Fred Wright from Q36 has abandoned the race there, so just came through. He's abandoned the race. So at the front of the there's a couple of attacks going here. Christophe Laporte now attacks on the right-hand side with Vasek on his wheel. So a lot of attacks rhyming off the front here. Abrahamson, Christophe Laporte. There's a rider from Astana as well, but everyone is attacking at the moment. No one seems... There's splits now happening. I wonder where Van Aert is. I wonder if there are any... I hope he got in a better position after that Camelberg, but 22 seconds to the breakaway. The attacks aren't going anywhere. So they aren't... Is that Trenton off the front now? Please don't be Trenton. It is. Trenton's now attacked off the front with Abrahamson in his wheel. Stuyven as well in third wheel, a rider from Red Bull. Lotto Intermarché, Ineos, Astana. So a lot of teams here. But Trenton does attack off the front. He's now brought back. He's way back a bit now, but they're just showing a replay here of what happened. It was the issue, the standstill that happened on that Camelberg. Van Aert was involved in it. He was like one of the first ones off his bike, not falling off it, but the unclip his pedal and the stand down. So that is probably why. I wonder what happened. I don't know if it was his bike or someone beside him. It was Dylan Van Barle. He flicks the shoulder. The rider from Ineos comes through. But the order at the moment is Ineos, Lotto Intermarché. Then there's Red Bull, Visma, Quick-Step. There's Vasek. The Visma rider is Laporte. Yeah, they must have a replay team. So when something happens, they have someone to go back and analyze all the replays before anything happens. But it seems to be these same 5 or 6 riders doing the attacks out the front of the favourites group, but the favourites group seems to be spread out quite thinly towards the back. I don't think they're that worried, to be honest. It looked like it before they hit the what was it, the Monteberg? Before they hit it, Van der Poel was riding with Philipsen in his wheel. So maybe Alpecin are going for a sprint finish. Maybe Van der Poel still feels it in his legs from E3 after doing that 430-40 watts for the final 90 minutes. So maybe he's still feeling it and is working as a teammate. Philipsen is there, yes. Oh, did he say it was a major goal? Well, then there you go. If he said that, Van der Poel probably said, "You know what? Here, I'll work for you then." The plug street's coming up. That's the gravel sections. There's like 5 kilometers, and they're all back to back to back. So, but like maybe a kilometer or 2 in between. But I wonder if any splits happen here or anything to note. Crash maybe. Hopefully not. But yeah, that is true. He won the Norca Corsa, but he did get beat by Groenewegen at the Ronde van Bruges. So maybe he's feeling it today. Maybe he's feeling good, or maybe Van der Poel attacks and Philipsen goes with him, or Van der Poel attacks just enough to try and break the sprinters a bit, and Philipsen ends up being able to hold the wheel. Yeah, I think we are going to see an attack from either Van Aert or Van der Poel at some point. Pardon me, but I would love to. There's 4 riders off the front here. 5 riders off the front. One from Astana, one from Red Bull, one from Tudor, one from Alpecin, and one from Decathlon. They go off the front of the favourites group. It is Fedorov from Astana, Gianni Vermeers from Red Bull, Arthur Cluckers from Tudor. MVB gonna... Oh no, I've already read that one. So I forgot the end the poll for the... Start poll. Right. Can't even type now. Can't speak, can't type, can't see, can't hear. I am... Right. So there's the poll for this race, Gent Wevelgem. If you want to vote, there is the Van de Poel, Van Aert, there's the sprinter option, and then there is other. So if you think another favourite or someone other than a sprinter is going to win it, go for that. Right. Empty says Brennan was brought back. If so, that is good. But I haven't actually heard him mentioned at all since I've turned it on. There's 80k to go exactly now. But the gap from the breakaway to the peloton is 28 seconds. That is what the gap is looking like. Or 32 seconds, sorry. The St. Nicholas Church. They're showing on screen at the moment. If that's your local church, go and stand outside it and wave because it is on screen. So we are... No, I didn't. Oh, you went for Brennan? Oh, right. So, no, I did not know Brennan was not there. I don't know if he's there. I haven't heard him being mentioned. So I haven't. I thought you were saying Brennan was brought back. But I know Christophe Laporte's there. Bird's eye view, there's only two riders from Visma. I can see two bright yellow. So Brennan must have dropped. Oh, great. I see two riders from Visma. And they're the only really ones I'm looking for, but St. Nicholas is what we celebrate early December. All right, okay. See, St. Nicholas is he's a Santa Claus in late December. Good old Saint Nick. Only Wout and Laporte left now. Trying to see if I recognise anyone just off the bat. I recognise Sam Watson there because of the jersey, but Laporte, who I've mentioned countless times now, he's still there. But we've still a lot of riders from Red Bull there. A few from Bahrain. Groupama are still there. Groupama are actually doing pretty well. They were doing quite a lot of work at the front of the peloton towards the end of E3. They were working well with Red Bull. St. Nicholas comes on the 6th of December. Wait, what? Do you have like Christmas at the start of December? What the... Or am I being like really stupid? So here they go, they're turning onto the I thought it was the first gravel sector. Is it? No, it's not. No, it is. Oh, they're about to hit it anyway. They're about to hit it. The breakaway's about to hit it, sorry. Brennan might come back. 3 Visma riders in the group just behind. Okay. Okay, good to note. Good to note. All them riders went off the left-hand side there. There was massive potholes, what looked like. Wout van Aert in a brilliant position now. I can see him. He sat on second wheel in the peloton. Magny's gone. Is he? See, I'm trying to listen to the commentators as well, but I can't really hear them. I see Kubish, he's in the group chasing. There's a rider from Visma at the front doing the work at the moment. But the first rider seen there was Kubish. They're onto the gravel now, I think. Yeah, they are. So they're onto the gravel now. Like, they're really narrow. But the gap from them, I'd say, is about 10 seconds. 10 seconds to the back. Yeah, Kubish is in that group. There is 3 riders. I think I see Brennan in the middle of that second group chasing the peloton. So I do. So Brennan seems to be still in it. Potentially. He's got a teammate trying to bring him back to the peloton, but if he can do that on these gravel sectors, that would be pretty good. Oh, what a view. They're showing like a helicopter view of like the flat lands and the riders going through them. That's class. I think Lon Anderson's in the front group, so he is. As it looks like it's going uphill a bit. Lotto Intermarché accelerating at the front. Abrahamson now is accelerating on the left-hand side. There's quite a lot of accelerations going here as they're trying to split apart this peloton here. No splits as of yet, but heavy accelerations at the front. 38 seconds is the time from the front of the break, or the front of the peloton to the breakaway. A wee bit of a tricky turn there into the next gravel sector, or I think it's just a continuation of this one. But Sam Watson at the front for Ineos still. He's putting in a good shift. Attack now at the front from Stuyven. Looks like Stuyven. I think it's Stuyven. He attacks out the front. 76k to go. Stuyven attacks out the front. Someone from Red Bull trying to close this small gap down. But it is all seeming to kick off now. Those are your roads. So there's a gap opened up between Stuyven and the Red Bull rider chasing. Then there behind him is an Ineos rider and a small gap to the front of the peloton. So gaps are starting to open here on this gravel sector. I don't think they're going to go far, but it is good to see some movement here with 76k to go. The second group, or the second peloton chasing, the second big group chasing, is going to find it hard to get onto the back now because the riders falling off the back of the peloton are going to get in their way, and it is quite a long line from them to the front of the peloton. Breakaway still the same riders, no issues there. But Stuyven has been caught under the Christmas truce now. That is the second gravel sector of the day. Hill 63 was the first, and the last one is the catacombs or whatever. But Christmas truce, 1.3k long, and that is how long the Hill 63. Where am I? Am I in the same area? Yeah, the Hill 63 was 2.1k. And they're just about to start Christmas truce. That is it. Stuyven's still at the front. I see Wout van Aert. Is Van der Poel there? I think Van der Poel might be behind a bit, but not by big margins. Here the bagpipes are out. That's class. The bands are out in full force. No way they cut the sound. They cut the music out. Your man's waving at the camera. But they cut the music. Why would you cut the music? Riders crying for their mum and the Frisian flag. So we've got a bit. There is a group here off the front of the peloton. Wout van Aert is in it. Stuyven's in it, but the gap isn't that big. It should be closed relatively quickly, but it is. It's about to get closed here now. No, the music was cut off. I heard the start of it and then they stopped it. So I don't know what happened there, but they cut it off. So I think that group has now been caught by the peloton. I think that is what we are looking at now. I think the Paul Magnier is at the front of the peloton now, so he is. That is who is at the very front. Christophe Laporte in second. Looks like he's going to attack, and he does. He attacks off the front, and they cut the camera straight away to the breakaway. But Christophe Laporte has just attacked off the front there. I wonder, are they going to go back maybe, or what are we going to do here? So they've went back. Christophe Laporte off the front, pacing or accelerating. Someone from Red Bull on the wheel. Trentin in third. Then Lotto Intermarché in fourth. Groupama in fifth. Astana sixth. Memorial to the missing. Is it Gianni from Red Bull? If it is, he's been at the front for quite a while. I was just listening to what the commentator was saying there about the memorial of the missing, something about British and South African soldiers or something. Not knowing their whereabouts, which is unfortunate. What is the weather like in the race? Dry, which is good to see. It is very dry. I don't know about the the temperature of the race. I don't know if it's cold. I'm going to assume it's cold, but it is dry. That is a good, nice showing the monument of the slaughter of the young boys in the war. It is. It's nice to see. Like they show some. They're showing here. What is this? Some big glass pyramid. They show. It is great advertisement for governments. But it is nice to see they show different stuff and they explain it, which is always nice if you don't know what it is. The gap for the breakaway now is 14 seconds. Astana are now pacing at the front. Sam Watson is back at the front now in second wheel. But the breakaway, seven riders still, no issues at all in the breakaway. Still the two riders. I don't want to pronounce their name. Beaster Boss is still there, but all the other riders, De Bont, Jayco, and then I'm not going to pronounce the rest. But there's a rider from UAE, Cofidis, Team Flanders, and two from the Unibet Rose Rockets, and there are no issues. This is the pit stop point with all the tires in the air. If anyone needs a tire change. Oh, lovely. Well, that's that's not good. So it isn't. Paul Magnier is now dropped. Oh dear. Paul Magnier is dropped away at the back now of the. There's two big groups with a small split in the middle, but Paul Magnier is way at the back of them. It was a bike change, so it was. That's why he's out. What is his issue with one-day races and having punctures and like issues with his bike? It like he had it at Omlop twice. Was it twice at Omlop? If not, he definitely had it at Omlop, and he had it at another race. Was it Kerner, Brussels Kerner? He had it at as well. Pardon me. It was a full bike change. He's taking the bike of his teammate. So Paul Magnier's not on his bike. History is full of warnings. No comment. Right for Antoine. Memorial for him. They just explain what he hit by a motorbike after falling off. Lovely. Gotta love the motorbike riders at the cycling races. They're always involved in some way. Magnier has always something in one-day races. Needs to change his tire sponsor. He's struggling on his teammate's bike. I think Magnier's out of this race. I think he is completely. He's struggling on his teammate's bike, looking back for the team car. And I think that might be his race over. Paul Magnier cannot catch a break in one-day races. So it's another day of no Paul Magnier in a one-day race. And this one would have been good for him because it usually does have a lot of sprinters in it. In the finish, that is. But they've still got Stuyven. Still got Stuyven out the front. Now let me have a look at the poll. 44% for other. Now that is a surprise there. I think Milan is there, yeah. I'm reading Johnny's message. I'm not giving an update. That's Stuyven looking back for him. Oh no, sorry, Yves Lampert now raises his hand. Has he got an issue? Sorry, I thought it was Stuyven. They've got the camera back on Magne. He's raising his hand. He's all over the road. Now the car's caught up. He's getting his bike changed now. Yeah, he says that. I think he said to the motorbike camera that it's his bike that is the issue. But he gets his own bike back now. But he is away out the back here. He's with all the cars. You got ads again. I'm surprised. I'm still yet to get one set of ads. Per Paul, yes, indeed. Someone from Confidence at the front here. Charette, is that from the breakaway? Aye, first rider from the breakaway to drop. Charette from Confidence, he drops now. Makes it back to the peloton. But we're down to 6. So we are down to 6. 41 seconds, so the gap for the breakaway has increased a bit. Wout van Aert, I seen him. He seemed to be in a decent enough position, but there is no issues at the moment. The finish of the gravel sectors, and up next is the Monteberg in about 8 kilometers to hit the Monteberg, and then that is on to 5 more climbs after that in 20k, and that is where the race will start to kick off if there are any attacks. So they said tailwind for the final 30k is what they're hoping for. Yves Lampert's still at the back of the peloton here. Does he have an issue with his bike? Because he held his hand up as well, and he keeps looking. Yeah, I think he's got an issue. Hand in the air, and he keeps looking over the shoulder. Right, I think, is this the Magne group? No, this is the second part of the peloton with Kubish in it. Is that Brennan? There's a rider from Visma towards the front of this chasing group, but I can't tell if it is Brennan or not. It looks like him. Or is that Brennan there? Who's 2? Who's 2 for Visma? Affini. 44, so that's Duel as well. So Brennan doesn't even seem to be in the second group unless he's in the first group. But 2 riders from Visma in that group, and neither of them are Brennan. Like I said, Kubish is there, and that was the only other rider that I recognised. But I don't know if Brennan is in this front group. Now Van der Poel out the back, getting the gel. Luckily he wasn't a mechanical. So Yves Lampert now finally gets his bike change. So he does, and so a lot of mechanical, well, a couple mechanicals for Quick Step in this race today. The main one being Paul Magne, who's now away out the back. Teams at the front, we've got Ineos on the left. Well, we've got one rider from Red Bull doing the majority of the work here at the front, but Ineos are just behind him with 3 riders. On the right-hand side of the road, we have Decathlon with Picnic Post behind them. Who is that from? I'm sorry, I'm looking to see if that was Brennan, but then UAE are now coming up the right-hand side of Ineos with 3 riders. So we have got a decent amount of teams with a decent amount of numbers for them teams as well. Ghana is still there. There's Alpecin now, and Total Energies now. I've got a group of riders coming up on the right-hand side of the road. 4 riders actually from Total Energies. So Group 3 is... Group Manier is 1 minute and 5 seconds down on the peloton. No, that can't be right. There's no way Manier's 20 seconds down on the front group. There's two riders from Quickstep in this group. Is it Manier? I think it is Manier. Yeah, Manier's in the group, group chasing. He's 20 seconds on the peloton, so I thought he was completely out of it. He seems to be back into it. Wout van Aert is now at the back of the peloton. Don't know if he was getting a drink or not, but he's now moving his way back into it and up the left-hand side. But Manier seems to be back in it. That chasing group is about 23 seconds down now. It's got the likes of Paul Manier, Yves Lampert and Lucas Kubisch in it. The peloton is 48 seconds or 45 seconds, away from the breakaway. But at the moment, not a lot happening with 65k to go. We've got 4 kilometers until they hit the foot of the Monteberg, and then straight after that is the Camelberg. So it is a lot of climbing here. Once they hit the 60 kilometer mark, they're climbing for about 3 kilometers, in and around that. Man, he's going to come back and have some bad luck again. Manier is now working at the front of this second group, trying to bring himself back. He's done the Thanos. Fine, I'll have to do it myself. So he has. So 2 riders from Tudor in that group, 2 from NSN. Still the 2 from Visma, Affini and Duel or whatever. Let me check his name actually. Yeah, Duel. So the 2, right? I would love to know what happened with Brenham. But yeah, only the 5 riders abandoned, like I mentioned earlier. Juan Sebastian Milano, Max Canter, Fred Wright recently abandoned there, but then there was Lawrence Rex and Michel Lamberchet. They have all abandoned this race today. But it is still the rider from Red Bull at the front here. Not quite sure what rider from Red Bull it is, but it could be Gianni Vermeersch. I don't think it doesn't look like Pithy, but it could be. The wind now is picking up here. The wind is picking up for the second group. They will be back, but it's a bit late to move up when they do. Well, we will see when when they do cut. There is still a decent gap, but as I was saying about the Red Bull rider, it's either Gianni Vermeersch, Tratnik, or I don't think it's one of the Van Dijk. It's either Vermeersch or Tratnik. Hound. That's my boy Tratnik, 100%. I will take your word for it, seeing you know him so well. But he has been at the front for Red Bull now for the past, I'd say 10k and around that. But the gap for the group chasing is it's close, but it's not close enough. Tudor now moved to the front to try and bring them back. So there's two Tudor riders and a Lotto Intermarché rider in between them, trying to bring it back. Yves Lampert is still there. .46 seconds from the peloton to the breakaway now. But they've got a lot of cameras here on this second group, and they make it back onto the... No, just not yet. There's still a small gap, but they pretty much have. They make it on. They made it on now. That is them back. So how far away are we now? 2 kilometers away from the Monteberg before we hit. Oh yeah, the Monteberg. Sorry, but 2 kilometers from it. Then after that, we have got the Camelberg. Then 3 other climbs after that. So. Let's hope for it to kick up here now. Few attacks because there has been the past 10 kilometers has been quite quiet, but before that, and in the gravel sectors were a lot of attacks, not from the big GC guys, but from other potential favourites of the race. Why did I say big GC guys? The big favourites, sorry. Right, here we go. Red Bull accelerating on the left-hand side of the road. Ineos just on the right of them. UAE to the right of them. And Uno X. So the front four teams, Red Bull, Ineos, UAE and Uno X. Fighting for position here coming into the Monteberg. 38 seconds down on the breakaway. Ooh, bit of touch. Nearly a crash there. Bird's eye view. I think it was Cluckers and a Red Bull rider involved in that. They didn't crash, but there was a... Don't know if it was a touch of wheels or a... Is Wout still with Van der Poel? Yes, he is. They are still together in the front group of the peloton. Sorry, the front group of the main peloton. Sorry, it's been split up that many times. But massive group coming in here to the Monteberg. Pardon me. So the time for the breakaway is slowly going down, or I don't know why I always say slowly, and then I always say after. Don't know why I always say slowly, but it is quickly going down. 34 seconds it is at now. They've hit the Monteberg, 1.5 kilometers long, average of 4.4%. Oh dear. There was a sign at the side of the road with it must have been his family or something, with a big sign saying "Go Fred Wright," but he's abandoned. Oh dear. Right, so we're coming into the Monteberg now. Quick Step on the right hand side, Ineos on the left hand side, Decathlon, UAE, Alpecin, Tudor in the middle. But there is maximums of 8.3 on this hill. Van der Poel is on the left-hand side, just in behind Ghana, it looks like. Wout van Aert on the far right-hand side of the road now. So they're both on either side of the road, on their own with no team around them. It looked like Van der Poel was looking over at Van Aert to keep an eye on him. That is very good. That's a good image. Both on opposite sides in the same position. But Decathlon are dead centre here. Oh. Pardon me. Trenton's at the front as well. Showing a bird's eye view, but when they always show a bird's eye view, there's always one tree in the way. Tabassalon Anderson is on the wheel of the rider of Decathlon, who is at the front pulling in the peloton, so he's keeping him in a good position. Luc Lamperti for EF Education is towards the front of the peloton here. He sat about fourth wheel. The Cycling DNA Extra is back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Wout van Aert is in a good position. I would say he is... Well, I'm going to try and count. Give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's about 5 or 6 wheels from the front on the left, it looks. Kubish at the front. Yes, you are. No, is that Kubish or is that Vasek? Let me see, Kubish. I think it's Vasek at the front. He's on the wheel of Van der Poel. So he is. They are in similar jerseys. So, but Van Aert on the right hand side, any attacks doesn't look it at all. Vermeersch is at the front. Van Aert is now very close to the front here behind the Quick Step riders. Van Aert is sat side by side on second wheel with the Quick Step rider. The Camelberg is up next, And I think Van Aert may launch an attack here because he is in a very good position. 24 seconds to the breakaway. Still consists of the same 6 riders, to which I will not try and pronounce, but they have just hit the Camelberg now, 500 metres long, average of 11.9% and maximums of 16. The peloton are about to hit it. Stuyven is in second wheel, Vermeersch in third wheel, Van Aert in fourth wheel, Van de Poel in about sixth wheel, just close behind Van de Poel. But Van Aert now in third. Here we go, come on, someone attack, someone give us something good here. Van Aert is attacking on the left-hand side. He's putting in a very big attack. You can see Van de Poel has just moved to the right-hand side of the road. Vermeersch and Trentin on the wheel of Wout van Aert. But Van de Poel is trying to move up, gets boxed in by Trentin. They've now moved their dead centre in the middle of the road. And this is absolutely brilliant. What an acceleration from Wout van Aert. This is brilliant. Van Aert at the front, off the group, driving them up this Camelberg. There's now a gap. There's a group away. Christophe Laporte, Ghana are the ones that are missing out on this group that is getting away. Van Aert is now just come around the same corner. They're onto the back of the breakaway. The breakaway are bouncing all over the road. Van de Poel is now on the wheel of Van Aert. Vermeersch has now lost the wheel. Both of them are going away on their own. We're getting flashbacks here of Wout van Aert and Van de Poel as they cross the top of the Camelberg together. This is brilliant. Northern Ireland accent is appreciated. Sometimes it is annoying to the ears, but I appreciate that compliment. 57k to go. I need to change that, but we have just crossed the top of the Camelberg with Wout van Aert and Van de Poel both going over the top together in amongst the breakaway that was just caught. Vermeersch, from the only other rider from the favourites that was struggling to hold on with a small gap, he now makes it onto the back of that group. The breakaway is still together, but Vermeersch, Van de Poel and Van Aert all join them. I think maybe one rider from the breakaway didn't make it. Jayco 2, Unibet. Yeah, so the one from Team Flanders, Victor Verkule or whatever, he's the one that didn't make it, I don't think. But all the other ones from the breakaway are still there. Yep, UAE have 2, Florian Vermeersch and Julius Johansson. They're the 2 from UAE. This is why they waited to jump to the break. But here, I think Van Aert and Van de Poel are both at the front. The race is all over the road at the moment. I'm seeing if PCS update anything, but I'm also trying to keep my eye to see what. So the breakaway out the front consists of 5, 6, 7, 8 riders. Did the Team Flanders boy make it? Am I counting that wrong? But Van Aert, Van de Poel and Vermeersch are all in it. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. That was brilliant to see Van Aert and Van de Poel. I'm glad Van Aert was there. It is nice to see that back. The group chasing, who's at the front here? Decathlon chasing, that looks like Ghana, just because of the sheer size of him. He's in second wheel chasing. But it seems to be the peloton is still all together. It's still a massive, I'm calling it the peloton because it is that big of a group. They're all single file though. Pardon me. 55k to go. Why did I change that to 57? Like, so specific. I will change it to 55, but I'll change it to 50 when it gets there. So we've got the rider from UAE, Julius Johansson. He is doing the work in the breakaway. Van Aert sat in second wheel, Van de Poel in third wheel. I think my prediction, my prediction for this was Van Aert, just because of how good he looked is this an attack? Out of the saddle for Van Aert, moves to the front. Van de Poel in second wheel, still out of the saddle with him. Breakaway riders still holding on. Vermeersch is at the back of this group, as Julius Johansson now moves to the back as I think it must have been his turn, or I don't know what it was, but he's now at the back. Jayco rider's still there as well. But yes, my prediction was Wout van Aert, just because of how strong he looked in the Milan San Remo after the crash. I thought he definitely looks on top form. They are going all the way, trust, because they're going to work together. I think you could be right, Hound. There's Phillipsen in the second group. Biniam Girmay as well. Arnaud Delis. They're all, I'd say, towards the middle, back end of the peloton, because I seen Vasek there in front of them, and he was in the middle last time I seen it. Paul Magnier is way out the back. He seems to be in one of the last groups of the I think he's going to get... No, that's not even the peloton as well. Jeez. Dutch Coupe. Van Aert is 50% Dutch too. Yeah. You sold not putting floor in your... I thought the peloton still can't come together and get a result. The only reason I put Milan in my team was because he got 5th 2 years ago and he got 3rd last year, so I thought I would take another gamble, but my gambles don't seem to pay off as after choosing Mikel Landa in the Volta Catalunya, so it doesn't seem to have paid off there. I was hoping it would pay off here. But Vermeersch is on fire for UAE here. Oh, was he? Well, there we go. My gamble doesn't pay off. But they've got the camera back on the front of the race. Still Van Aert at the front, 53k to go. Milan lost his versatility. But to be fair, I did think he looked pretty good on the time trial in the first stage of the Tirreno, although it was short. He did look very good in it, if that counts towards versatility. But I mean, I think he has lost a bit of his oomph in the one day races. But he might have chose to do that, the increase on the sprints. 10 seconds now from the Van Aert group to the peloton. It looks like they are going to get brought back. Oh, you mean it's climbing? Van der Poel now moves to the front of this breakaway, but it does look like it's Ghana bringing them back. I think if you want someone bringing you back, one of the last people you'd want is Ghana to do it. Oh, was he? Oh, right. Well, is that Ghana? I don't think it is Ghana. They've literally got the camera right. It is Ghana. They had the camera like right in his face, and it just didn't look like him there. It looks like him from a distance. So we've got a rider from Groupama FDJ on second wheel. Decathlon have a rider there. Decathlon have 3 teammates there. I think Tobias Lund Anderson is the 3rd one. So it is. Do you think so? He'll rip it apart. Doesn't even look like he's got any. Well, I can see one orange helmet, so he might have one teammate. But apart from that, commentator just said that Groupama have Paul Penouet, so he's still there for Groupama. There's a group chasing this peloton. Who is in it now? There's a rider from Decathlon, Lidl, 2 riders from Decathlon. Hold up, is that I think that was Tobias Lund Anderson in this group, about to catch the peloton again. But there's 2 riders from Decathlon, and I think one of them might be Tobias Lund Anderson. 13 seconds from the peloton to the Wout van Aert group. That was Lund. I think Lund is at the back. I think I got a Jonathan Milan's there as well. Oh, yes. Yes, it's back on. Jonathan Milan is there. Man, you got cooked after the bike change. Yeah, I agree. The bike change ruined his race yet again. Dries de Bont now moves to the front of this group to do a bit of work. Fair play to him. He has been in the breakaway all day, and he's still doing work with Van Aert, Van der Poel, and Vermeersch in the group. So shout out to him. I highly doubt Vermeersch to do any work with Van Aert and Van der Poel here, especially after the work he did in E3 and didn't get any help at the end. But the Jonathan Milan group. Oh, crash. Ineos rider down. Ben Turner's down for Ineos. 76, Ben Turner crashes. He's the only one that went down, and he doesn't look in good shape. Hasn't stood up yet. What did he do? Oh! 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 I don't even know how to describe that crash. He was the only one in it, but oh! Oh! That doesn't look good. I don't even. What way would you describe that? That was that was just like a ragdoll crash. He just went flying. I don't know, but that was a weird. It was awful, but it was a weird one to see because it was just. He was the only one involved in it. Did he hit something? Did he hit a rider beside him, or clip a wheel or something, or did his foot come out of the pedal and he went the pedal down and his foot slipped and he went flying? I don't even know how you end up in a situation like that, but I hope he is all good because it didn't even show him standing up. Wout van Aert now moves to the front of his group. Van der Poel just did his turn. I think the bottle came out of his bike. But I seen the spectator lift the bottle off the floor. We're into the final 50k now. Let's bring out, just in case you are watching and you don't know where we are, if you look at the red arrow on your screen, that climb there, if you can see it, it might be a bit blurry, but that is the climb there that we are about to hit. So once we hit that, that'll be the third final climb of the day. There's 2 more after that, and then it is straight to the finish. But that is where they are currently, that is the climb they are currently about to hit. Or have they hit it? Don't know, but they're there anyway, in and around that. Gap going out. 22 seconds it's at now. Obviously, Unibet Rose Rockets also have 2 teammates there, so can they pull something off the bag? Obviously, one of them would be doing more work than the other, so one will be a bit more fresh. So could we see one of them going with Van der Poel and Wout van Aert? But Decathlon are doing the work here in the peloton to bring it back. I think if the Tabasco Anderson group made it back on there, which they did because Milan's in it, Decathlon will have 5 teammates in this group. Let me count them. They've 6 teammates actually. Whoa. They've near enough their whole team. Please don't tell me that's Milan at the back of that group struggling. I think in the one-day races this year, I'm actually good because on Monday, if you count all the World Tour races, on Monday, after this race, means that we're 33% of the way through the whole season, which already at the moment, 33% through, surprised me. It's going that quick. But I'm gonna do a video next week because I've got a bit of time because only Dwars Door and Tour of Flanders are happening. So I'm thinking of doing a video of sort of like a recap of like a third of the way through. But I'm gonna talk about the teams that are doing well, and there are a few teams that are definitely doing well in these one-day races. Gonna do like top 5 teams, top 5 GC riders, top 5 one-day riders, and I'm gonna think of a few lists but I'll try to. So it's gonna be Matt and Wout plus who is strong enough versus the Decathlon peloton. That does seem to be the battle. Use the UCI ranking. I could do for the riders doing the best, but for the teams, I'm thinking just for me watching it, the teams that look to be doing the best from my eye, but I mean, my eye at this point is probably not the best, but there definitely are a few teams that are standing out in races at the moment. But I'll probably do I don't know. I need to sit and think, but there'll be a few lists. They have to keep the gap within a minute or it's over. Any word on Brennan? Not a single word on Brennan. I don't even think he's not. He wasn't in the group that was chasing the peloton earlier. He's not in the peloton, so I don't know where he is. But the gap now increases to 33 seconds, so they are letting them get away a bit here. Decathlon will need to. They've got 2 riders for Decathlon at the front of the peloton, then they've got 2 riders surrounding Tabasco and Anderson towards the middle of the peloton, so they may need to step it up here. Brennan Sandbach. Milan here, they've got the camera Milan, whereas Soren Kragh Andersen is moving him up into the peloton here, so it's good to see he's still got a teammate to keep him there. Arnaud Delee's still there, they've got the wee marker on him. He'll win Roubaix. Who do you think will... I'm trying to think. How do I word this question without... When the likes of Van der Poel, Van Aert, Pedersen, and I guess you could add Pogacar into the conversation of this, when they all disappear, who do you think will be the big Roubaix winner? Like, who do you think will be the next to do it? I threw that. I haven't even thought about it. Like, so I just thought I'd throw that question out if anyone wants the answer. But when them 4, I'm adding Pogacar in because he obviously he could win it. Like, but when them 3 disappear, and obviously Mads Pedersen hasn't won it, but I mean, if Wout van Aert and Mathieu van der Poel weren't there, I have a feeling he would win it. But you know what I mean. When the likes of them ones aren't there, Vermeersch was 5th. Yes, how old is Vermeersch actually? 27. So yeah, he is a very good shout for it. So he is. Johnny, you've got a mate. You have got a mate. 34 seconds from the breakaway to the peloton. The breakaway consists, if you are just joining, the breakaway consists of Van der Poel, Van Aert and Vermeersch, as well as others. Julius Johansson from UAE. There's De Vries from Unibet Rose Rockets, as well as Wessel Morse from Unibet Rose Rockets. Beasterboss from Picnic Post-NL is there, and De Bont from Jayco is there as well. Do you think Brennan's capable of winning the Roubaix? I've seen people talk about him saying that he's not as a pure cobblestoner for the Roubaix, but it is a name to throw in the hat if Visma can play their cards right with him. Nice to get an English language commentary. No problem. I'm here all year, so I haven't actually. I'm surprised I haven't said subscribe to the channel once this stream. I've been in that much of a rush. But whilst 26 people in, if you would like to subscribe, by all means go ahead. I've been live all week for the Volta Catalunya. It just ended there today, earlier. I'm live again next week. And I'm live again the week after, and every week until the race season ends. But yes, Manier's going to win the Roubaix. Now that is a massive take. Gourmay's still in this group now, so NSN have 3 teammates with Gourmay. Gourmay being the 4th, I mean. But see Niels Pollitt there as well for UAE on the far left, just swerved out. But Gourmay getting into a position here before they hit the Banneberg or the Bainberg or whatever way you want to pronounce it. One of the bergs are hitting a berg climb. 1 kilometer, 7.1%. I'm the only English we get in the USA. Damn. I seem to attract real cycling. Well, that's the plan. That is one of the main reasons I started is because if you, I don't know if you all follow football, but football, this type of stuff, watch-alongs is massive in football. But I remember I was just sitting, because watching cycling can be a bit lonely, like when you're watching it by yourself. And I just thought, let me try it this, and I'm completely out of my comfort zone for it. Like, but I mean, I'm happy enough doing it, and I'm enjoying it, and it is good fun. And I thought, whoa, I will get to that point in a minute. But as I was saying, yeah, I just thought I would try it, give it a shot, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but there we go. There was, I think that there was a massive amount of riders just abandoned there, like a massive. Obviously, they just couldn't be bothered. Like, but I will give some names off. Let me see if there is anyone. Sam Welsford, Connor Swift, Tom Crabb, Mattis Mikkels from EF Education. Oh, thank God, I almost had him in my fantasy team. Ivan Garcia Cortina, he drops it as well. But I don't want to go through everyone, but apologies to any of the riders that I have missed, but there are quite a lot. I just tried to name the riders that I obviously had seen. But they are on the... when am I buying PCM? The PCM 26 was just announced there, so I'll either buy that one or Velo Victory. Only Spanish in the UAE doesn't figure. So we've got accelerations here at the front. Well, not really accelerations. They're out of the saddle. Vermeersch at the front, Van Aert second, Van de Poel third, and then the rest of the breakaway behind them. They're on the Bahnberg or the Bainberg or whatever. The Bergberg, they're on it now. 1 kilometre, 7.1%. Someone from Q36 now attacks out the front of the peloton. My vote for your poll was Wout van Aert over Mathieu van der Poel, because Mathieu went so deep in Friday. Exactly. That is a very good point. That is, well, that's not the reason I went with Wout van Aert, but my prediction was Wout van Aert as well. I went with Wout van Aert because of how well he looked and how strong he looked in the Milan San Remo. But yeah, with the 90, well, he put up the 90 minutes at what, it was like I can't remember the exact, but it was 430 something watts for 90 minutes. And the state he was in after he crossed the line, he was like over the handlebars for trying to stay alive. So he did look wrecked. So that point is 100% valid. Was that Johannesson dropping off? I'm not sure. It is, yeah. So, or no. I don't know. The Bont is now dropping. Mathieu van der Poel went very deep, so he did. Yes, it was. Just teasing. Right, so it looks like Dries de Bont is now... There's a small gap for him. He's making his way back on. It looked like he was done completely. But Julius Johansson, which Johnny did say, is dropping off. He has dropped off. So it is down to Florian Vermeersch now. Dries de Bont is struggling to stay on here. He's shaking the head. He's wobbling all over the road. Well, not over the road. He's wobbling over the bike. But he gets onto the wheel, it seems, of Beasterboss. Beasterboss, yes, Beasterboss. But the two Unibet Rose Rocket riders seem pretty comfortable. Who is that for UAE? That's Johansson now. As the Q36 rider that attacked at the front of the peloton now passes him. The gap from the peloton to this breakaway is 41 seconds. That is De Gent off Q36. That is who that is attacking at the front. Actually, you're doing great, and thanks for doing this. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Ugh. So they're passing a windmill here and a big pear with the little logo on it, just in case anyone was wondering. Yep, second that. Thank you, and thank you. $40k to go. Need to change this up. So that has changed. So the group of the Gent is 38 seconds down from the Wout van Aert group, and then the peloton is 50 seconds, so the Gent is 14 seconds up the road of it. Is not a good sign. So you think, do you reckon the Gent makes it back on or catches this group? It's now up to 50 seconds, so it's going to hit over a minute here. Goes great with my dodgy Iranian live stream. Oh, but to be fair, that is another reason I started it, because I know a lot of people were complaining about the price of things now. So I thought I could provide some really bad commentary, like with the pronunciation of things, but I would attempt to do so. So that was another reason. Unibet Rose Rockets have some trajectory in the World Tour right now. It has been really interesting. It has. There was for the Run de Van Bruges, when we were doing it, there was, I actually, but not to big myself up, but I predicted Groenewegen would win it just because of how on form he was there with the 2 races beforehand, and they did look very well in the lead up for it. Who looks the best in the front group? I think Van Aert looks the most comfortable. I'm only saying it. Obviously, Van der Poel's Van der Poel. He could flick a switch here and dominate this whole race. But like I said earlier, and like Shelley also said about the effort he put in at E3, I wonder if that is going to come into effect. But I think Wout van Aert, he attacked first, Van der Poel went to his wheel, and I think in the group, Wout van Aert does look the best in my opinion. I have a live stream from Indonesia, equally as dodgy. It's nice to know all the dodgy live streams around. I love a good dodgy. For the football, it's the when you're watching the football, the dodgy live stream is the Saudi Arabia. They're the best ones. I'm amazed by the Unibet boys and Beaster Boss. Yeah, they are. It almost reminds me of De Wolf there yesterday. Brilliant. No, not yesterday. Apologies. De Wolf on E3 was brilliant. Groenewegen, genuinely a nice guy. He looks like a guy. He looks a nice guy, but he looks like a guy I wouldn't want to mess with. I think if you seen him in an alleyway at night, I think you would turn and run. But it's nice to know he's nice. I mean, Van der Poel closed him from 5 wheels behind. Exactly. I'm not counting Van der Poel out of it. I'm just throwing that out there that the potential fatigue you could say could play a factor. Obviously, it could play a factor for Vermeersch as well, because he was chasing him down, although he did have 2 people helping him until the final 1 kilometer. And Groenewegen is up for another one today. You're right. What was that race they're riding? I don't know if he'd be in. Oh no, the Groupama race. I'm not pronouncing all that. Why is that name so long? The Groupama race. I don't know if There not two the hills 0.3 kilometers, average 6.7%. If he can get over that, and the Unibet Rose Rockets can keep him in a good position, they do that hill quite a lot of times in the final 30k. There's quite a lot of hills in the final 30k, but if he can get over that, I don't see why not. Make it 4 in a row. But I was buzzing to see them get their first World Tour win. I was looking for your live commentary just now, yet you're here. Right, so we're going up the Camelberg here now. Van der Poel is at the front. We're just about to hit it. Van der Poel at the front. This is the last climb. Yeah, this is the last climb of the day. Maximums off 17%. Or even higher, I think. Averages of 9.7. Sorry, maximums of 21%. I think this is the steeper side they're going up. 700 metres, average of 10.4, maximum of 21.1. Van der Poel leads them onto it. Wout van Aert sat in second wheel. Vermeersch in third. Dries de Bont, 2 Unibet Rose Rocket guys, and then Biesterbos from Picnic Post at the back. But let's see who makes the first attack here as Van der Poel gets out of the saddle. Not attacking yet, but he is out of the saddle. Wout van Aert as well out of the saddle. But it is who is going to move first here? 36k to go. Onto the cobbles now. Dries de Bont, the Unibet Rose Rockets and Beaster Boss are gone. Dries de Bont has now just went. Van de Poel powering it up here. Go on, got the camera back on. Van Aert in second wheel. Looks like Vermeersch is losing the wheel of Wout van Aert. Come on, Van Aert. He's still on the wheel of Van de Poel. Look at this. This is brilliant. Vermeersch is lost the wheel of Van Aert. Van de Poel still at the front. Van Aert on his wheel. They're up the side. Come on, move out of the way. No one hit them. Is he losing the wheel of Van de Poel? There's a small gap coming up between. There is a gap. Maybe 2 bike lengths between them. There is a feed zone at the top, but Van Aert is still there. Gets the ball. Both of them get the ball. They're both still together. Here we go. 36k. The final hill is done. Vermeersch crosses the top now. So that is the gap. The two of them have went away alone. Oh my. Van de Poel, if this continues, Van de Poel and Wout van Aert sprint to the finish. Oh my days. Do not get me excited about this. Now they've turned left. Right, where was I? Groenewegen up for another one, yes. Yep, blah, 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 da, da, da. Groenewegen is sweet Amsterdam boy, only gets tough with finish in sight. Massive crowd there on the corner after the Camelberg. Van Aert's still on the wheel. Right, it seems like all the good peeps have congregated here. They're going to separate the men from the boys on the camel. Oh yeah, Van den Berg, yeah. Bring it on. Insane. 11 seconds to Florian. I had my prediction all right. Mads should have started. Right, so De Gent now crosses the top as he hits the descent down. But it is all kicking off now. 1 minute and 9 seconds to the peloton behind them. I wonder if Vermeersch can catch up. 11 seconds down. 35k to go. The peloton now are crossing or are under the descent now. I wonder if Jonathan Milan made it over there. Do I think Mads would have won? I would have loved if Mads was riding this and he was in this group. I think Johnny, you said in the comments on my YouTube video, Mads wins in a sprint against Van Aert and Van der Poel with a peloton in the background. You almost nailed it on the head. We could see the peloton in the background here, but no Mads. Yeah, you just said I predicted Mads beating. Looks like Van Aert's attacking Van der Poel here. Out of the side, they both sat back down. Van der Poel on the wheel now. Is it all Van der Poel at the front, or are they starting to work? Well, Van Aert has just moved back into second there, but Van der Poel, they've chopped and changed there once or twice maybe. There is Vermeersch in the background coming around the corner. Dor Pedersen, or Mads Max as I call him. The Leroy Jenkins of cycling. Right. So Van der Poel still at the front. Wout van Aert in his wheel. Round the roundabout. No issue. Well, I say round the roundabout. Straight through the roundabout with no issues. Alex Segard's still there in the front group. I'm only saying that just because he's in my fantasy team, but that is good to see. Vermeersch has just passed that roundabout as well, so that gives you a slight inkling to the gap between them. How many kilometers? There is exactly 33 kilometers to go. It says 40k on my screen, and I did change it to 35, but it hasn't changed. It's changed now, but 33k to go. Oh, you're kidding. So this is the first time I get an ad break. It's 33k to go when both Van Aert and Van der Poel are out on their own. You kidding me? That is, so I'm on my ad break. I wonder when Sagan is going to show up on his whoosh bike. I will, whilst I'm on an ad break, I will say subscribe to the channel. That count isn't right. I'm actually over 200 now, which is brilliant, and I appreciate it. But if you are new, subscribe. I'm live for every World Tour race I can possibly go live for. I'm uploading videos. I've got the Dwarsdorf Vlaanderen preview coming out tomorrow. I'm going to try and get it out tomorrow. I still need to record it, but I'll try and get it out tomorrow. But yes, subscribe. Don't forget to like the stream as well. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram if you would like. I put my predictions out on there for them. Just, I don't know, spice things up a bit, but I do appreciate it. Am I focused? Why won't my camera focus? There we go. Focus now. Are we leaving this nice guy like? Well, it's up to yourselves if you want to or not. I can't force you, but it is greatly appreciated. Oh. Why did I do that? I'm gonna go to focus. No, I'm still in focus. Still in focus. That's good. Right. So let me have a look at PCS now. Gap to Vermeersch is 16 seconds apparently. Van der Poel, Van Aert obviously still at the front. No time for the Dries de Bont, Beaster Boss, and the 2 Unibet Rocket riders. It says 32 ? 32 seconds, but the peloton is 1 minute and 10 seconds down ? So they don't even have the time for the peloton. Peloton 44. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where my mouse is. Right, so I see them now. Vermeersch is 12 seconds. Time gap's moving a lot though, so don't really trust it. It'll take them a while to maybe get them all stabled out. Are they working together? I would love to answer your question, but I'm on an ad break. Oh, we've got Sagan, so it's coming back on soon. Sagan is about to do his Whoosh advert, so I will let you know if they're working together or not. My Whoosh. Right, come on. Load her back up. Right, we're back. Right, okay, so 29k to go. Peloton is... Let me change that. Peloton at the front. Biniam Girmay is actually at the front of the peloton in second wheel behind a Q36.5 rider. Surprised to see Girmay at the front. Who's my prediction if the group joins up? I don't know what sprinters are in the group. I know Biniam's there. Arnaud Delis, I think, is still there as well. Don't know if Jonathan Milan made it. Dries and the Dutch on 15 seconds. Right, so the gap's 29k to go. Van der Poel at the front of this group with Wout van Aert on his wheel. The group chasing, which is Florian Vermeersch, is 16 seconds down. Group 3, which is Dries de Bont, Beaster Boss, and the 2 Unibet Rocket guys, they are 45 seconds down, and the peloton is 1:03. So there are the time gaps according to the TV. Wout van Aert versus Wout van Aert, the best rivalry in the sport. I remember when Van der Poel released his schedule, I put up a TikTok saying about, this is his schedule, and then I said, Wout van Aert is also riding these races. Some guy commented, what's the point telling us Wout van Aert's, he's not on the same level as him, we're not going to see them race each other. Well, here we are. Look at us. Who would have guessed it? Wout van Aert versus Van der Poel in the final 30k of Gent Wevelgem, or in Flanders Field from Middelkerke to Wevelgem. Another cemetery. What is it with the helicopter and the cemeteries in Belgium? A lot of cemeteries actually. Damn. Sad to see. Binny versus Milan would be a sight. It would be. Why did they change the name? Good question. I have no clue. It's World War One. Well, I had a feeling it was a war grave, but think they said World War II or whatever, but yeah, no, it is sad to see that stuff, but there is quite a lot in this area. The helicopter has panned to quite a few sites. Creepy name, Peter Pan for cemetery. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the Peter Pan thing. That is an odd name, unless there is meaning behind it. Possibly. I never thought of it like that. But the time gaps: 18 seconds for Vermeersch, 42 for the Dries de Bont, and 58. So we're under a minute now for the peloton as Wout van Aert moves through on to the front here with Van der Poel on the wheel. So they are working together. It is just how long they will work together for. Let me have a look at the poll, actually. Forgot about the poll. 33 votes. 42% think Van der Poel, 30% think Wout van Aert, 9% think a sprinter will get it, and 18% believe another rider will get it, obviously not a sprinter, or Van der Poel or Van Aert. So actually not a bad split. Van der Poel obviously the favourite by 12%. The group chasing with Dries de Bont, he is in second wheel. Beesterbos is in third, and the Unibet Rouge, one of the Unibet Rouge Rocket riders are doing the work in there. Red Bull now at the front of the peloton. Now we know what happened when Red Bull moved to the front of the peloton in the E3 Saxo Classic. They went with Groupama, and they did a very, very good pull with Groupama. NSN and Lotto Intermarché are there as well. Decathlon as well. But roundabout, no issues. No issues for Van der Poel or Van Aert in that roundabout. That's actually pretty cool, the crowd on the bridge here. Do I think Vermeersch will come back? 19 seconds? No. I don't think so. I think that if he does come back, that is some achievement, but it took Vermeersch and two other riders to be able to bring back the struggle to bring back Van der Poel. I don't think Vermeersch on his own is going to bring back both Wout van Aert and Van der Poel. Peloton, now that is a different question. The peloton, they could possibly do it. 53 seconds it said there just before panned away. That is possible if another team can get working with Red Bull, like Decathlon for example. That is who I think wins it. Who asked me? Someone asked me who do I think is going to win if it comes to a bunch sprint. That's who I think. Tobias Anderson. I think he'll get it. But I'm still going with the two in front. Yeah, I hope it is the two in front. I hope. If these two come under the 1 kilometer banner together and launch a sprint. PCS just said Jonathan Milan is back in the peloton. So he's made it back. Yep, after Friday, I couldn't believe it. Johnny was with me watching Friday, and I think we both couldn't believe it. They changed the name because it doesn't start with Ghent. Oh, it doesn't start in Ghent? Ah, right, okay. Because someone in the comments on my TikTok said that the mayor of Middelkerke pays a lot of money apparently to have the name in the name, so it's gonna get that close again today. Do you think so with Wout van Aert? And I think if Van der Poel didn't have E3 on Friday and he didn't have that solo ride, I think if it was Van der Poel without that and this Wout van Aert, I don't think they would have caught them. But then, I keep saying that as an excuse for Van der Poel, but it's Van der Poel. Yep, Middelkerke pays very well for the start. I'm sure they do. Paris-Roubaix doesn't. Just stir the pot there. Just stir the pot. They're showing a statue at the moment. I'll wait for the time gaps to pop back up to see what the time is now for the peloton. But Van der Poel now at the front working. Van Aert in his wheel. 45 seconds for the peloton. Dries de Bont and the Beaster Boss, the two riders from Unibet Rouge Rockets, are about to get caught. So I think it's 9 seconds, 8 seconds according to the live feed. So once they do get caught, fair play to them. Brilliant ride from the four of them. After that, it is Vermeersch, who's 38 seconds up the road from the peloton. Vermeersch is down to 14 seconds, you know. 15. 16 now. Here, he could bring it back. Ah, well, there we go. There's another cemetery. I love history, but it seems to be glorifying violence. The dark days were one a bit too much for my taste. The reason for the change of the name is for those who don't know. Oh, there's a poem. There is a... So they changed the name because of a poem. So there we go. The pat on the back for the two Unibet Rouge Rocket riders as the peloton catch him, as well as Dries de Bont and Beaster Boss. So, yet again, fair play to them. Good day out for those ones. All that is left to catch now is Florian Vermeersch and then Van der Poel and Wout van Aert. How do they look? Is Van der Poel driving it? Is Wout van Aert catching a ride? Well, Wout van Aert is at the front now. They both seem to be fairly comfortable. They just seem to be taking their turns, and that's about it. The gap now for Vermeersch is 9 seconds. Right, okay. The poem's called Flanders in Fields. If Vermeersch catches him here, this is some ride, like. If Vermeersch catches him, it would be good to see. So although I would love a 1-2 between. I'd love the 1-2 between Wout van Aert and Van der Poel, but it does make it a bit more interesting, and it obviously gives Vermeersch that chance for the win. The quick slow motion replay off the chat. There was a few words said between Van der Poel and Wout van Aert. Obviously, both talking to each other as they've been here before and they know what each other need to do in order to keep these two, or to keep themselves out at the front. Kilometers left, 19k. Thanks for reminding me, because I always forget to change the kilometers. So there's 19k, so I will change it to I was going to change it to 15k, but I'm 4 kilometers out, but I'll change it to 20k. Written during the Great War, World War One. It's amazing he kept it to 11 seconds for so long, but Vermeersch is not going to make it. He could maybe make it, but just not have enough to hold on at the end, but I think he might use it all. I mean, he might use his whole energy there to get onto them, and then that be that. You'll not be able to take a turn or anything with them. I don't think he would in that situation. But it is now 14 seconds, so it is slowly growing. Never mind, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. I'd take that back. The best way to get an emotional insight is through the poets. So Decathlon are at the front here. 4 riders for Decathlon. I think the last one of them is Tabashlon Anderson. Luke Lamperti now drops off the back. You kidding? Jonathan Milan as well dropping off the back. You're joking. I think he's got a mechanical Lamperti. Is it a flat? Yep, flat front tire. His tire punctured. You're joking. You are joking. He's punctured. Wout van Aert now at the front of this group. Van der Poel in second wheel, obviously, because they're the only two in it. But Florian Vermeersch it says 14 seconds now. The peloton is 40 seconds down. 18 kilometers to go. I wonder if Milan did drop out of that peloton there. You can see them up the road from Vermeersch. They're in Vermeersch's sights, and it looks like he is potentially going to catch them here. But when he does catch them, and he closes this 13-second gap, peloton's 40 seconds down with 17k to go. Oh no. I'm not I will not comment on that. If I wanted to say it and you wanted to hear me properly, I would have to go really posh, but I will not. I will not say those two words together. It also works with it also works with R as in HOUR and R as in OUR. So the camera's out of focus again. Focus. There we go. So it works with those two. So it sounds the exact same. So R and R. I'll do that one. It just sounds like I'm saying the letter R. But yeah, there are quite a lot of words that sound the same, or we struggle to say with without knowing which word it is, if you get me. But anyway, back to the race. Enough about me. 16k to go. I'll change this to 15k now. Wout van Aert still at the front. Van der Poel on the wheel. Vermeersch 18 seconds out now, so he might be done. Me too, unless it's issuing a warning. I'm from Boston. There's no letter R. They are gaining indeed. Well, it said stabling out. Milan has dropped. Oh, lovely. The car from Little Trek pulled up beside the motorbike that was filming Milan, and basically in nice terms told him to go and do one. Shouted out the window at him. But Jonathan Milan has dropped, so that is me cooked in the cycling fantasy league there. So unless obviously Wout van Aert and Van der Poel do something here, and don't get caught. I'm boiling. Very, very warm. 21 seconds now for Florian Vermeersch. 15k to go exactly. 37 crash. Oh no, bike change. So I thought it was a crash. Bike change for Astana. I said his name there, but if a Belgian rider for Astana, it showed his name and I didn't clock it, but I seen the country. Belgian. Arjun. I don't know his second name, so I'll call him Arjun. But he has a bike change for Astana. Dude, my main sprinter dropped already, so man, yeah. Well, I've lost Luke Lamperty and Jonathan Milan and Matthew Brennan, so I'm not left with much. I think Alex Segard's still there, so I've still got him. Don't know if Anthony Turgis or Turgis, one of the two. I think he's still there. He also forgot Tobias Lund Anderson. There's one more, Trenton. And then obviously the main two up the front. But Vermeersch is about to get caught here by the peloton. 14k. Vermeersch is 21 seconds down. The peloton's 35. Decathlon and Red Bull have decided to work together. They know what is on the line, and they are going for Van Aert and Van der Poel here. Yeah, if it was any, yeah, you're right. If it was any other two, they'd be caught. But I think it's because these two, I'm holding out hope that I think they're the only two in this race that could possibly hold this breakaway, or hold this peloton off. Sorry. How does Wout van Aert look? He just took a gel there, like, so he. They both still look the same. They both look very comfortable, unless they're just very good at hiding it. Vermeersch looks cooked. He's got the tongue and all out over the handlebars. He looks done. I got both Vermeersch's, Trenton, Lund Anderson. There's gorgeous. They should catch them, but that's normal circuit. I hope you've said that now, Johnny. It's gonna happen. I hope they don't catch them. It is 31 seconds. It does look over. I think if they do catch it, like I said, I think Jordy Mews is a good shout, but I think Watchalong Anderson is probably the best shout. But Red Bull obviously confident in Jordy Mews if he is still there. I would like to think so, seeing Red Bull are doing that amount of work, unless they're going for someone else. Wout van Aert at the front now, Van der Poel on his wheel, 31 seconds. I agree with the commentator there. It doesn't look like they are going 100%. Both Van der Poel and Van Aert, they just look comfortably riding. It doesn't look like they're going all out, if that makes sense. I'm still going with Peloton sprinting for third in the background. We're looking great. It would be good to see Anderson take it. He's actually been one of my favourite cyclists of the season. Vermeersch has been caught, 21 seconds, 12k to go. No. They have to know the time here. They have to know. I think 24 seconds is up to now. The helicopter is zooming out and they are there. Oh no. They're caught. I think they are caught. 10k to go. And that, I think they're definitely caught. I think that is. I think Van Aert will be going for a sprint. I don't know if Philipsen's there. I see 2 Alpecin riders, 3 Alpecin riders, so Philipsen still could be there. Decathlon still have 4 riders, including Watchalong Anderson. Red Bull have 3, including Jordy Mews. Biniam Girmay's still there as well. Philipsen's still there. I think Arnaud Delis's still there. We are looking for, if this happens, where are they? Yeah, they are 21. It's stable at 20, but it's 10k to go here, and it doesn't look likely, put it that way. They give it a go. They did give it a go, and they are still giving it a go. Haven't been caught yet, but all my sprinters except London. I think I might beat you this time, Hound. Benny has spent a bit of time on the front, but he still does. I think he has teammates with him. I definitely see one other NSN rider. I don't know if he has 1 or 2 teammates with him. Jasper is in the group. He is. He's got 2 teammates with him as well. NSN have... I can still only see 1 teammate. Christophe Laporte is still there for Visma, so Lewis Askey is there for Biniam. He's bringing him towards the front. Trenton is still there as well. He does a good sprint. And like I said in my preview before the E3, he's been in the top 10 for the past... in top 10 in 6 out of his last 10 one-day races. Trenton has. So I'm expecting another top 10 here from him today. No, Lewis Askey is just bringing him towards the front of the peloton now, so it looks like Benny is getting into a good position. Philipsen, 2 riders in front of him. Ineos still have Sam Watson. Don't think he will have much of a chance against these sprinters, but I think he is going to be their main sprinter. Bora are setting the pace as well as Decathlon. Will the big 2 split up? I don't know if one of them will. It's down to 15 seconds, 8.5k to go. No, they're going to get caught. Bet you they'll leave it to the final kilometre. when everything starts to kick up. Enjoying this so much. You got a like and subscribe. Won't do the same for my dodgy stream otherwise. Might get a visit from. Very good. I appreciate that as well. Sorry. Thanks very much. So Van der Poel at the front of these two now. Can you see the peloton in the distance? Yes, you can. Yes, I'm doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you. I can see the two. You're a Brit in the US. God love you. I'm sure you get everyone all the time. Oh, tea and crumpets, all that nonsense. But I could see the two of them getting swallowed, but keeping up with everyone and coming top 10. Getting a bit political here, guys. Where was I? I could see Wout van Aert going for the sprint. I don't know if Van der Poel will go for the sprint if Philipsen's there, but a top 10, 100% for both of them on the cards. Oh dear. A Geordie as well. Oh, you get lovely accent. Oh, right. Oh, I suppose the US, they love all the different accents. Right, 12 seconds. Van der Poel, yeah, they've caught them. 6.8k to go. And Red Bull and Decathlon, brilliant teamwork from them. Brilliant shift from them. Now, if Anderson wins, massive day for Decathlon, awful day for Red Bull. If Mees wins, massive day for Red Bull, awful day for Decathlon. So they've both done the work to get it. It is now up to both sprinters. I say that there's still 10 seconds, but I mean, let's be realistic here. They're going to get them. They know better. Thanks for the stream, like and subscribe. Thank you. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Right. Do they understand the Geordie accent? Right, so Van Aert's at the front now. The peloton is about to catch him. Still at 10 seconds. They are just teasing us at this point with the chance of a possible 1-2 sprint between them. 6k to go. At this point, they just need to put us out of our misery and catch them. $11 seconds. Giving us some hope here. It's went up. See, I know but is it Andresen or Andresen? I just, at the point, I just call him, I just say Anderson really fast. So I try to put the R in front of the E, but jolly good. Sorry, something happened there, but I completely missed it. Switch to peloton sprint. Who? Anderson. Andresen. Tobias Lund Andresen. Andresen. Sorry, the first one. So Andresen. I'll go with that then. Someone attacked out the front from Bahrain. It was Alex Segard. Alex Segard has attacked out the front. Here we go. A bit of excitement here. Now we know what he did in the No Caracorsa and the Grand Prix de Denon. So he is literally about to bridge across here to Van Aert and Van der Poel. 11 seconds, 4.8k to go. Alex Segard is literally right behind him. He's so close to catching them. The race... Oh, my chair got stuck. The race is only getting started now. But yeah, it doesn't look like Alex Segard's catching them, to be honest. It looked like he did, but it doesn't look it anymore. 12 seconds, 4.5k to go. Oh... Round the corner, Van der Poel and Van Aert go. Alex Segard round the corner now as well. And the peloton. around the corner now as well. So that if you aren't watching, that gives you sort of a gist of what's going on. But 12 seconds according to the TV. It doesn't look like they are all out. They're doing 100%. I think they may do it towards the finish here, but Alex Segard, Van Aert and Van der Poel both look around and see him chasing them down. I think they are following your script. I think they said what did Johnny say is going to happen in this race, and they've all planned around it. Replace Mads Pedersen with Alex Segard. Alex Segard's about to catch them here. 14 seconds it's up to now with 4k to go. It is getting down to the wire here. Alex Segard now catches them. Van Aert is at the front of these two. Alex Segard is now onto the back of them. This makes it a 3. Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel and Alex Segard. Alex Segard, who just won the Grand Prix de Denon there a couple of weeks ago, was it? Something like that. The 19th, he won it. So 10 days ago. They've hit the 4 kilometre banner. Oh my. What is going to happen here? Van der Poel now moves to the front. Segard in second wheel. Van Aert in third wheel. I tell you what, it's going a lot better than I expected. Ghana is now at the front with Watson on his wheel. Decathlon have a rider at the front as well. Then so it goes Decathlon rider, Ghana, Sam Watson, another Decathlon rider, and then Tobias Lund Anderson. 2 riders from Tudor. The one at the back is Trenton. 10 seconds it's down to 3.5k to go. The peloton is, you can see them behind Wout van Aert and Van der Poel. Oh, I just want Wout van Aert to win it. I think it would be brilliant if he won it. So they are about to hit, it is 9 seconds now apparently. Van der Poel now moves to the front. They've hit the 3 kilometre banner now. I'll tell you when the peloton hits the 3 kilometre banner. They've hit it just now as well. Ghana at the front. So it is Ghana. Oh my. Out of anyone to chase you down, like I said earlier, of all the people you don't want chasing you down, they all look over their shoulder and they see Ghana chasing them and they go, what is happening? So here, any of us have full confidence here in Sam Watson to get something in the sprint against Philipsen, Girmay, Anderson. If Sam Watson gets that, Six seconds now. Oh no, it's not. There's no way either of them are winning it. It is coming down to a sprint here. $2.2k to go. It still says 4k on my screen. They are going to hit the 2 kilometre banner now. Alex Segard at the front, so he hits the 2 kilometre banner. The peloton just hit it there now as well. So it is all kicking off. Before we hit the 1 kilometre banner, 40 people in here. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. I'm live again next week for Dors door Vlaanderen as well as the Tour of Flanders. So if you want to join me then, by all means, do so. But yeah, 1.6k to go. 6 seconds. Ghana is still putting in the work here at the front with Sam Watson on his wheel. Your Ghana may not run out here and leave Sam Watson on his own for the sprint. But Ghana, Sam Watson, 2 riders from Decathlon, the last one being Anderson, 2 riders for Tudor, the last one being Trenton, then Laporte on the wheel. Then there's 2 riders from Lotto Intermarché, Arnaud Dalibi in there. The peloton is literally about to catch him. They're about 5 bike lengths from them. They're about to hit the 1 kilometre banner. Alex Segard is now at the front as he puts in an acceleration, gapping. He's got a gap now from Van der Poel and Van Aert. So Alex Segard is going on his own. Van Aert and Van der Poel are literally 1 bike length away from Ghana. They have just been caught 1 kilometre to go. Actual heartbreak. So it is down to a sprint. Alex Segard is still out in his own, but I have a feeling a sprint is going to get it here. Unless Segard has a sprint in his back pocket. But Philipsen and the Alpecin train are on the right hand side of the road. Decathlon and Sam Watson are in the middle, as well as Trenton, Laporte, Arnaud Dalibi. But it looks like Alpecin are going to launch first. Binny and Gramai's still there as well. I'm going to try. Everyone's going to launch at the same time. Van Aert looks a bit done, but Alpecin have launched their train. So has Decathlon. Trenton now sprinting on the wheel of Tabashlon Andresen. Now he launches. Tabashlon Anderson comes up the front. Philipsen on the right, Laporte on the wheel of Philipsen. It is between Anderson and Philipsen. Who is going to get it? Laporte's coming up the middle. Philipsen on the right, Anderson on the left, Laporte in the middle. Philipsen gets it. What a sprint. What? Philipsen gets it. Philipsen gets it. Who said it was his... Who said it was his... To be honest, out of all the sprinters, I didn't want him to win it. But I mean, what a sprint. Tabashlon Andresen gets second. I think Laporte comes in third. But yeah, Alpecin, they played it well. They didn't have to take a turn in the peloton to chase because Van der Poel was there. So they just had to sit back and relax. But Philipsen gets it. Fair play to him. Very, very good sprint. Hugs Van der Poel. Congratulations. Van der Poel celebrated in the group with his hands off the bar. Does he get relegated for that? Big win for Philipsen, indeed. Great job. Thank you. Something like thank you. Thank you. There's the security guards surrounding him. I want to see the top 10 here, so I'm going to wait for the top 10. Thanks, great work. Appreciate it. If you are, and I will say again, subscribe. We're over 200 now. I think I forgot to change the thing along the top, but we're definitely over 200. So I appreciate that. So cheers, man. Well done. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've actually got a bit of a break now till Dwarves Door, which is on collab in the future. Get in touch. I appreciate it. Will do. Well done. The final K. Many thanks for your coverage. Thank you. I'm going to wait for the top 10, but I've got a bit of a break now too, because I've been live all week for the Dwarves Door Vlaanderen on Wednesday, but it has just built up to that now, and then the Tour of Flanders, and then the Basque Country, and then the Roubaix, so a big couple of weeks coming up, but 204, brilliant, that is great. So they're just showing the sprint here. Trenton seems to launch first, which makes Andresen launch. Philipsen then launches on the left-hand side. Andresen's at the front. Philipsen then takes the lead on the left-hand side. Laporte gets a good sprint. Arnaud Delisle's there as well. Does Arnaud Delis get third or fourth? Fourth. Who's that for Jayco? Someone from 125. And PCS is froze as it usually does after it. Really enjoyed it. Thank you. Right, here we go. Hold up. 125. Robert Donaldson from Jayco. I think he gets fifth. It was a great stream. Thanks for all the effort you put in. Thank you. I'm going to do after I wrap this up, I'm heading over to TikTok to do the race recaps on that. They're going to give us a preliminary top 10. Also, a nice distraction from the tributes. I don't even know what half that means, but... Right, so first is Philipsen. Yes, Andresen second. Laporte, Arnaud Delis, Donaldson, Trenton. Tudor gets 6th and 7th. Someone from Q30 6th and 8th. Don't know about the rest, but I'm still waiting for the names. Come on. PCS either get it a minute after the race or you're sitting waiting. It's a flip of a coin. Poor Benny, always bridesmaid but never the bride. I wonder where he came. Oh. Got it for the Wout van Aert and Van der Poel sprint. Got it. Yeah, he continues to get the top 10s. Still no top 10, so I'm gonna sit and wait for the top 10 because I am genuinely curious to who got it. Is Benny there? I can see him. He's definitely not top 10 by the looks of it. Right. Top 10 now. We crash PCS. After a classic, it always goes down. 20,276 people are currently looking at the in Flanders field from Middelkerke to Wevelgem, and they're going to do an interview. No offense, I don't want to see an interview. I want to see the top 10 here. Or am I missing it? If I missed something, if they give the top 10 out, I shouldn't have hit a button. Shouldn't have hit a button. Now it's froze. Yeah, experiencing some technical difficulties. So, don't know who got the top 10. Let me think. Top 5 off the top of my head. Philipsen first. Tabasco Andressen second. Christopher Port third. Arnaud Delis fourth. Robert Donaldson of Jayco fifth. Trenton sixth. Another rider from Tudor in seventh. Potential Q36 in the top 10 with eighth. But that is all I know. Don't know the names. Nothing has been released, but I will end the stream there. So I will. Hold up. No, I'll just end the stream. So thank you very much for watching. Like I've said countless times, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the stream. I appreciate you all joining me today. It was another good one. If you were with me from the very start with the Volta Catalunya, I also appreciate that. But yeah. I guess I will see you back on, if you do join back. Do we know your name? I'm called the Final K. No. I'm just I don't know with my name. You'll probably I've said it once in one of my TikToks, so it's out there. But I mean, I just don't like going around saying my name. I don't know why. It's just it'll be said at some point. But anyway. Thanks for watching the Final K. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, the kilometer, instead of saying the final kilometer, I'd say there's 10K to go, 5K to go, there's 1K, so it's the Final K. But, what was I saying? Yes, if you were with me from the Volta Catalunya, and if you have joined me throughout the whole week in the Volta Catalunya, thank you very much. It does mean a lot. And, thank you for... No, it's not K. Thank you for watching the Final K, and all the best.